exploit it though? Can they push on those limits? Do we see a different look from Victor today? There's so many potentials that could change up here.
Absolutely. I think this composition builds around what their big win condition is going to be in terms of pacing, in terms of bringing that kind of EDG ethos, I guess, from that opening series across here to Lotus.
Oh, the fans are excited for this one. It could be a cracking game. I don't know what version of which team we get coming out today. You know, we could see the championship run look in NRG. We could see that T1 deadly form able to handle powerful individuals like they did against Kankan, but we wait and see. We already start out with Victor taking a whole lot of space. That Frenzy posted up nice and deep here. Does he get the little green light that he wants? That, absolutely not. Sire player played in very nicely off the back of Carpe. Beautiful start.
Time to perfection there. Well, isolate Victor as well, somebody who is pivotal in terms of NRG's mid-rounding on the attack. She's will clear through the Trailblazer. NRG stacked up here as well, but already 3 T1 bodies ready to defend the C site.
They're pivoting. They have to. They've already got so many of these rotations in, so much of that counter utility in place. It's somewhat at least denied that springboard effect that maybe NRG wanted to try and pressure towards that C site, and it's a double back. Maybe just taking their time through here, see if they can catch one player overextending, but no one is. This is patient play from T1.
Definitely looking to slow things down now. Ardis reveal, but actually still punishes Munchkin on the swing off the turret there.
Over-delivering and trying to keep their attention towards B. He can cause them so many problems now, trying to, I guess, hit that rotation back from the C site. But again, we look at what could stop them this. Do they still think the Sire player would be here? It was a glance. It was just a quick look from Crashies, but he adjusts well enough to find Sire player. That gives them the sight. This is a really nice round from NRG, just drawing T1 so thin across the map.
Beautifully recovered to get into this position now. T1 lagging behind a little bit in terms of the rotation timing as well. Now allow NRG to set up very comfortably. And look at Ardis' disconnected position. These players on site just need to buy time for him.
Paranoia is going to help. That should have connected at least towards one, maybe two. Pop Flash goes in, and FNS can't see a thing. Now, Crashy's still going to find value, though. Could be a third not to be. Here we go. Now we look towards Ardis. He was the final player, meant to be the final boss in this. Note, no one is on that spike. It was just a tap. The second time of asking, he's got a nice little line of sight on this. It was chip damage. Oh, the spacing on that was a little off there. Ardis gets away, and now time is against Carpe. He's got no time left on this one, and Ardis times it to perfection.
Opens up with the Red Bull clutch here in the pistol round. And Ardis definitely the power player in that setup, but NRG crumble on site and still able to close it out. That safe plant position. Beautifully done by NRG to recover that round into that position, but like I said, Carpe and Zeta did everything they needed to on site here.
So many swings and roundabouts in that round. That first pick played in perfectly, Victor going down.
And a little bit chaotic as well. With this plant, you must read that Ardis is disconnected, right? And the swing from Carpe is just so off kilter. I don't know if that's a miscommunication. Somebody's looking to tap and Carpe's not swinging, but it looked like that first half was going to be stuck at least.
We do have a stack coming out from T1, just leaving, I think it's Carpe, yeah, only Carpe towards that C side, so he's going to be going through the process of doing what he can. He's got a classic, so T1 trying to just keep bodies on that A site. Did do well to facilitate that first pick in the first round, but going to be hard to do it now. Let's see how clean NRG can keep this, though. They do obviously have some much better weaponry. We just have that Marshall out for Sire player, so that's the one you want to be seeing potentially find connection. But for NRG, they're going to start feeling all of this pressure. So many bodies now kind of identified towards the A side that I wonder if they continue on this track.
You obviously heard the Marshall ringing off here from Sire. No tags coming through just yet, looking for a blind spam, but Victor explodes onto Sire. We'll find two.
He's such a little animal like this. Does so well on the Neon. I know he had a little bit of a shaky performance last time, but it's beautiful to see him get that little confidence building early. Eco Cobra round short. You take him when you get him. Hello. Zeta's going to find one. Sire player did connect towards Ardis, so not as clean as you'd imagine, but there is a recovered weapon. It's not much. Can they make anything of it now? Carpe really wants to try and tee up Zeta to do something. That's going to do it. Now Victor's gone down. This is a problem. Getting a little bit more dicey here. 2 more seconds on the flash. Cove's gone up. But Crashies is just body blocking that spike. He's going to keep himself on this. Just put his life literally on the line. Oh, toyed with. Gorgeous. Zeta now. Can he get past on the final? Rain Bossy's done it. Has he got the time on this one? I think he does. That's a tragedy for NRG and T1 turning those tables around.
Back-to-back rounds where this post-plant hold that should be fairly comfortable crumbles for NRG. This time around, T1 capitalize. Get the defuse on top of that. But a flip here in round 2. Massive boom to the T1 economy. And Zeta's upgrade from Finesse, dropping that Spectre at the top of the ropes, makes all the difference. You see the engagement, there's Stinger versus Spectre there from the ropes, and Zeta able to punish. Artist going to throw a Guardian in here. Victor back on Stinger once again. Actually, Sheriff's in a frenzy here, so if they find an opening pick, NRG could make something of this.
Victor's going to be overwhelmed with the 3 players on this. T1 willing to brawl it out now. Crashy's going to go down first and foremostly. The rest of NRG hoping for a favorable outcome, but Artist already taken low, but does take one with him. Arpe still just standing. Joined by Sire player here. They're willing to shoulder this challenge. I mean, they've got the Vandals. If you start losing out, you do feel a little silly. Finesse actually making something of the Sire player now. Gotta deliver, and he does. Beautifully done. Got a little bit dangerous there. If he goes down, suddenly it's a little bit more vulnerable.
Absolutely. Bladestorm online, though. Nice and early for Sire. So a little offset to the economy if they do want to try and get an operator in his hands early on. He's going to try and spread the funds potentially. No, ban down at 150, so maybe going to use that for a full purchase in the next if NRG are able to strike back here. Lockdown available, Seekers available here for Crashies as well. That's our T1. Reckoning, Seekers, and the Bladestorm. Curious really if this early trend will continue, because I was talking about T1 potentially being conditioned by that EDG matchup in terms of being ready for aggression, being ready for very explosive early rounds. Finesse potentially going to be tested here. Artist alongside him.
Yeah, they got caught on the flash, so the T1 know that there's players here. Oh, Carpe just couldn't capitalize on the swing. Side player gets out of there, but NRG now given a chance in this.
And Carpe's the one to swing wider on that. I know Sire was expecting to maybe bait off the back of that, but Crashy's looking to follow through the Trailblazer here and potentially even throw the Seekers in here. Big damage, yeah, and with Carpe falling, Sire's going to have to play this out at 21 HP.
Do they continue on this track, though? NRG have options. They've still got 55 seconds to make best of a bad scenario. Going in towards Sire. Cove popped. But they pause for a second here. Sire player goes looking for information. He finds all too much.
Forced out by that utility perfectly. Som capitalizes. Lockdown invested as well. NRG want to get this round on the board.
How much can one man do? He's got to stand and fight, and he takes no one with him. Life up for grabs here, and NRG just storming the site. Gorgeous from Som, expecting the positioning from Munchkin. And Ban identified, he doesn't need to overdo it now. NRG have basically got this round on wraps.
Ban not even going to look for an exit. Do have the chance, obviously, with the Bladestorm being available, but down at 150 credits, maybe just wants to protect a full purchase here. Artist slipping up. Yeah, he is jumping up towards the archway. Isolated, Ban will find one. A consolation at least. LG, on the other hand, with those credits remaining, probably not wanting to hunt this down too desperately.
And turn in the second round certainly going to haunt them if they did expend towards chasing the rifle. So, kind of taking pause for thought here. NRG course correcting quite quickly. Getting back on track here, tying this up at 2 apiece. Now, again, kind of rolling it back. Ban, I don't think in this one I'm going to kind of put him in the same light, but we saw in that previous matchup against EDG, for example, wanted to see him confident early, started to really come online towards the later stages of that previous game.
And I think this round is a perfect indicator for how T1 want to approach this, but NRG having a second stacked up on this extremity, the awareness needs to be there from T1 that that is a possibility after that EDG matchup, and then being, like I said, forced into a position where T1 had to be the aggressors in a lot of their defensive rounds, just to try and reduce numbers.
Oh, and still with so many ults to play with. Carpe's got his, Zeta and Sire player all ready to go. Obviously Munchkin and Ban a little further away, but similar scenes at the start. We've seen this kind of almost consistently. Sire player willing to take an early fight here, look for an early challenge, but mostly just take space. Now, first time we're really seeing NRG, though, with bodies behind it, exploring this B option.
Zeta taking a ton of damage there. The other side, actually, Victor gets tagged up as well. An exchange, but doesn't amount to anything. Crashy's actually taking the orb outside B here. So Victor was one away, slowed down by the Nanoswarm now, but T1 have relinquished a little bit of control for the time being. But big information off the Trailblazer. Munchkin actually capitalizes.
I was a little nervous that Victor has the spike there. That could have been so much worse. Luckily for him, Crashies is able to grab it, didn't fall too far away. But now looking across the map, Finesse outdone Ban, so ready for it, working perfectly off the back of the utility, and NRG not finding the success they previously had, losing out on players on towards B, losing out on that presence on A. Do they get any success towards the site? No, Som's gone down one by one. This is just individual work unless Artis can over-deliver, and he absolutely can't. T1 holding the ground there.
Yeah, Artis actually got 2 in that situation. Not entirely sure how he found the second there, but T1 find their third. You noted, these ultimates aren't being relied upon here. So still some tools at T1's disposal. Finesse, unfortunately, just can't find it. Oh. I thought maybe that was over the top and Saya saw a pixel, but it was just a blind spam.
Broken buy coming out from NRG.
Forcing around Victor's ultimate potentially does have a stinger in hand as well, but Guardian in the hands of Crashies.
Quick work here though, but you can see Side player exploring towards middle this time. On the other side is Artis, and the adjustment not quick enough for that one. Artis all too prepared. Having quite a nice game already, Artis. Miscasting games that he's in. But NRG gonna fall away from this. They've had that early win in this round, right? So with 1 minute 15, they've got options to explore.
Carpe looking to swap out with Zeta, potentially to make use of the Seekers. NRG this time around, I haven't really seen them comfortably take an opening duel. Saya gives this one up on a platter, to be honest with you. You've got to be careful. Kobe actually bouncing. I'm not sure if that will leave a gap. No, we'll still cover the choke point.
Yeah, but Victor's just straight to work, straight to business. And he does find Zeta. Damage taken, yes, down to 15 HP, but he's still alive and still a threat. Carpe going to try and catch him across the wall, but it's Munchkin. Finds Victor, and they take back the site control. They're not giving it up just yet, though, as Som takes that critical kill towards the site. That could facilitate the plant now.
30 seconds left.
Ban and Munchkin, a 2v4. NRG still haven't fully got site control to obtain this plant. Maybe waiting for some smoke to come through. Come through at the perfect time. Munchkin even eats a little bit of spam on the way out, down to 7 HP, makes this almost undoable. See already on the mini-map, we'll retreat away. And I want to see T1 lean away from some of these solo swings in the early rounds. I mean, Saya and Carpe previously looking to take deep control outside Mound, maybe pick off Finesse or Artis, whoever they're expecting to find outside C lobby. This is another example where Saya's given one up and there's no possibility of a trade. No, absolutely not, and they don't gain anything in terms of information because then NRG can just slow things down. Then a slight overcommitment from Zeta as well. I mean, he's got the Reckoning, he can potentially slow down a hit, but it just comes so late on. There's no pressure on NRG. I think even actually the AoE was just outside main anyway. Maybe Victor, regardless, he can zip straight past that. But potentially here, if we see Saya pick up the operator, maybe that's an indicator to slow things down and maybe look to... it's just comfortable for Artis there.
Yeah, these do feel a little bit individual, even just the fights alone. Yeah, obviously kind of signified very clearly at the start by Saya player, but let's see if he can maybe get his head back in the game here. You can't be giving NRG those opportunities. They'd absolutely love to be giving them. Still a close game though, 3 apiece. Not seeing either team fully break away just yet. NRG back to this early lean towards A.
I mean, in terms of the numbers, though, this is the half that you want to see T1 post up an advantage. 64% win rate on defense overall regionally. It's definitely where we want to see them set up for success in the second. Victor looking to actually find some space here, and he's got very deep. He's going to find Ban, potentially. No! Ban finds the headshot.
I'm amazed that Ban got away with that one, but the barrel even showing. Finesse giving it up. Crash is taking the damage, but going to deliver the kill. But the site, yes, it's theirs, but they've suffered so much on the way in. Victor and FNS going down makes this tricky, and now the flank has got a lot of bodies towards it. Artis got 3 potential targets to handle. Spots one, takes one, but that's all he's going to get. TP toyed with. So I'm going to stand his ground. He's got Crashes by his side, but they've been struggling in these post plants.
And it's been on this site they've struggled, Lauren.
Gap's getting closer here. Crashes has no idea. Well, unfortunate for him as Som now left in a 1v3. Big round, not gonna happen. Carpe's got him, Som's gone down. And once again, those retakes elude them. They evade them here. Not getting what they want at all.
It's a similar setup as the pistol as well. Artist disconnected initially, there to greet the pressure outside mound, just holding onto that C lobby position, but
This was huge.
yeah, ban does go huge for T1 here. To find the second as well. I think even a lot of chip damage done onto Crashes with that Nano Swarm. I mean, if this is an attempt from T1 to almost condition NRG into focusing more towards A and relying on ban as that heavy anchor towards Tree, and obviously having the complement of Munchkin's utility there, then sure, but I do want to see them start disconnecting a little bit.
Yeah, because you set that conditioning in hope that you get that additional benefit down the line. So maybe that's what we start seeing them lean towards going forward. But I also got to say here, ban being a nice safe pair of hands on towards A. We kind of credit the anchors as to how well they handle this. Let's see what we see this round, though, because does that conditioning continue? For now, though, NRG actually testing it over towards C.
Yeah, first time actually we haven't seen T1 with a couple of bodies stacked up here, but Sire's on that solo exploration outside of B. Other side of the door right now. Potential to be played in with maybe a wall up from Zeta and a flash from Carpe. I'll try and catch them in the choke point here.
There's the flash. Wait and see if side player does much with this. It's actually Carpe to find Som. Where did he just get him?
Just on the backside of the mound.
Wow, okay. Yeah, Carpe. Beautiful start to this, and that's frustrating. Som going down does remove some of those later round options.
Hey.
Side player 1-for-1 trade, though.
Yeah, I mean, you take that in this situation after Som's already fallen. Now you want to see T1, like I said, disengage from this. Use the numbers advantage here and minimize the risk on the way in.
Well, the options for NRG are looking dreary, aren't they? Yeah.
Slim.
What are you meant to do with this? How are you meant to take towards your site? I guess you could take a gamble, hope that maybe Ban's in an uncomfortable position over towards A. Where is Ban? He's just jump spotting. Okay, so he should be able to get the information early. There it is. Whoa, okay.
They didn't spot initially.
Okay, hold on. Well, Ban's made a meal of it.
Fumble.
That's tragic.
He spotted on the first jump spot
Yes.
there, but didn't react at all, and Crashes was actually ahead of that first jump spot.
Though this has given them such an opportunity. It shouldn't have happened. Lockdown on either side as well. 3v3 now in the post plant. Can NRG make up for those last rounds they've been struggling with here? They don't have to go too far away from this. They do have to kind of go back towards Tree, slip back a little deeper. Artist still has a little bit of kit to play with too, but going to be taken back towards the site. FNS should be able to catch that cross, apply some pressure once they start trying to get towards the site, but he looks like the first port of call here. They've already made it through. Now there's problems. He tries to overextend. He gets taken down. Artist holds the line, though. Site's still NRG's as T1 struggling to take those next steps.
Comfortably closing out an A site post-plant hold here, and the lockdown exchange really doesn't favor T1 at all. A little bit baffled by the investment there, especially at the timing. If you just wait for that to close out from Artists, I feel like they can invest this much smarter. I think it's Finesse falls here, but he gets off a crucial snake bite to stop Carpe and Zeta from actually flooding back in onto site. So even though he goes down there, able to still assist a little bit. I think actually the vulnerable taking effect on Munchkin on that initial swing into mid-site.
I'm just still worried about Ban after that round. He's going to have to get his head back in this game. Silent player, though, had this ult for a moment or two. His challenger is just tucked in the corner. Oh. Not good enough that time. Oh, this patience pays.
That shouldn't be a surprise, though. And again, it's another one where burn a flash from Carpe. If you're going to make a play like that, just have a flash to confirm presence there.
And they've been doing well at that before. That's the crazy part of this. Okay, Victor caught in no man's land. Nice soul spray again. This is going to be bits and pieces. Yeah, Artist. Heads up work from him. Lovely little round. NRG starting to string together some rounds here. And again, I need to see recovery from T1. What they look like here. Operators out. You kind of considered that earlier on in this game. This is the round they're going to invest in.
Is this going to be a little more of a passive hold here from Sire? Have the Seekers, have the pit for Ban, so you can maybe reinforce that anchor towards A site. We'll still see Munchkin provide a little bit of support in terms of utility. Artist disconnected once again. Doesn't have Finesse now in this position. We saw them stacked up previously together in the early rounds. NRG looking to step the pace up a little bit in terms of early round pressure.
Yeah, Yeah, trying to work in the dark a little bit here. None of the presence can be fully confirmed that there's bodies behind it, but there's a lot of utility shown, a lot of audio cues. But Artis goes walkabouts. This time Munchkin's got him dead.
Can't use that yet.
Not going to get as much freedom as they had before. They get to slip away with the man advantage early, leaving Sire player posted up with that operator.
Yeah, just spotted with the Trailblazer. Won't necessarily have confirmation there's an operator in hand just yet, but in terms of the mid-round, this looks much better for T1. Now they have some sort of, I guess, safety net with the Viper's Pit going up and an operator on the other side of the map. NRG look as if they were, I guess, posturing towards a B split here. The Crashies with the spike drifting towards the backside of the pit here. The alarm bot's got, so again, Munchkin is wary of any sort of lurking towards spawn, but a little bit of a gap here for NRG to potentially make something happen.
Do they let Som slip deeper? That's what I'm hoping they do, and they have. They've got him just posted up towards CT, not going too far away, but they've done this quietly, right? They're working in the shadows towards it.
We'll be forced into I guess, an unorthodox plant, but the pit is so deep towards spawn.
And that just cuts off so much of the avenue of approach until then. Victor's fallen and giving Munchkin the way forward. They've now got an opportunity. Now it's actually NRG looking a little surrounded here. A couple of brave explorers towards that pit might be happening as well. Let's see if they hold on towards that for Finesse. As Crashy's looking to maybe remove Ban from this, find themselves a little bit of a corner of comfort.
Crashy's got a shorty.
Oh Lord, the drop! Hello, Crash is going to take down Ban, but it's Munchkin having a round here. 3 already. Crash is burning both flashes, but Munchkin is not relenting. This guy has just aced NRG, and in no easy feat.
And a totally new look to the A side post-plant with this pit up towards spawn, and T1 once again come out on top of it. What a strange round. And what's even stranger is that a member of T1 comes out with an ace here. I mean, Crashy sends both flashes in here and Munchkin stands his ground. And this goes completely differently. If there's still a Poison Orb and a couple of Snake Bars for Finesse to work with, NRG can potentially commit to a much looser, more passive hold here. You can see Crashy's desperate to try and negate that pit towards Treat. And Munchkin's found one for free.
Yeah, saw nothing. I'm pretty sure there. Victor going down instantaneously, just caught on the cross. That's going to be frustrating. I'm going to note that there's been some deeper progress made from NRG, but they've been sent on their way. They can't make it towards the site just yet. T1, this is much nicer. I mean, yes, off the back of Munchkin, but still. And look at this space for Sire player. He doesn't have to go too far here.
Yeah.
He can just sit on this. The map is theirs, basically. 3 players ready to greet them on A. You've still got that presence of utility towards B. And obviously Munchkin there, Sire player. That's a shot you want to be hitting, but they now know that the map is indeed very small.
I mean, that's the green light to hit towards A. There's so many questions elsewhere. Som will open things up, Ban will fall. The Seeker's invested here. Lockdown to potentially counter, but the plant will come through. An opportunity to reset here for NRG.
Okay, wall goes up, trade comes in. They're going to get back towards the site now. That flank is still something that's going to be weighing heavily in NRG's mind. You can see already the T1 trying to toy with the timing here. Crash, she's not going to fall for the flash. Does well against Carpe. There's the flank though. Sire player going to answer back in. With the tap on the spike, they have to respond. They have to check. And Zeta was auto ready. And now it's on Sire player to try and do that damage. And what? Oh! Zeta! How'd he get that one back? Oh, this looked good for it.
I was in the same position as the pistol.
Yeah.
This time around, Zeta lands the shot. Operator retrieved. And T1 will come into the final round 1 up. NRG 2 Guardians and a Bulldog on the board earlier. We'll see how the purchase actually ends up. Beautiful adjustment here.
This is huge from T1. So impressed with their work. And NRG back to what they hope is working. Victor being found so early on certainly doesn't help matters, but once again, Sire player. Yes, this time there's a little bit of utility there. Yes, this time maybe Artis comes back around. But again, it's so indicative of space given.
But even so, Sire's continuing to pressure the backline. And this time, NRG, I don't know if they feel as if they've done enough work to force him out of that mindset, but we see otherwise.
Does he get checked? He does. Okay. Tries to swing ahead of it, tries to make something of it, but Ardis just claims him through the wall. That's Carpegon and Munchkin. That's a B-side looking so vulnerable. Yeah, Sire player took some space, but who cares at this point? That should be a plant if they need it.
Still got that alarm bot to deal with. I don't think Ardis is going to get out of range of it. So Sire's got to reconsider maybe approaching the door here. Reckoning invested. Again, there's no body to swing off this, though.
Store. Anyone?
Thank God there's an extra wall there.
Yep, that would have been you dead otherwise. Now just down to Sire player. A 1v3 required. Only a Bulldog picked up. Isolates the first. Crashes goes down. 2 more. That's a hard angle to clear, though. NRG making no mistakes at the end there. Taking this back to 6. And Neon again. Obviously, it's the easiest question to start with.
Yeah, definitely. And this is where I lean back towards the point I made before this map started. Is how T1 are going to approach this in terms of the pacing. I do want to see them build around Sire here on the attacking half, but might even be an early exchange here. Some will fall immediately. Sire doubles down.
Huge work! And crashes as well. This is so clean. Sire player really making sure he's dead there. FNS is down. This is, look, they
do we have our answer already?
Yeah, I think we do. They were trying to fight fire with fire, and T1 win that cleanly. NRG feeling embarrassed after that. Ooh, all 5 standing. That's a message, Mike.
The Prime Gaming Flawless to open up the pistol round. And one of the quickest we'll probably see.
Yeah, what a start. Let's have a little look at this again. Yeah, 135 basically first blood, fully confirmed, drawn. Sire player, man, so clean with it.
Beautifully done. And this is a statement send if T1 now build upon this and set the tone here for their attacking half. Actually, Sire 2 away from the Blade Storm already. Had a very early Blade Storm in the first half after that round 2 flip.
True. Okay, so it's going to be Finesse feeling that pressure over towards the C site. Couple of shots coming his way.
And a heavy lean towards A for NRG.
Yeah, I mean, 3 players, yes, dedicated. 4 almost if you want to throw maybe some into that mix too, but now what can FNS do with this? He's got support on the way, but there's a gap and it's closing. Yep.
He's caught by it.
Bye-bye. You can already see the Hunters coming on downside. Player though, the counter flash wasn't bad. That could have been maybe a little more to it. Maybe they can get something a little bit wild going on. Victor starting to become a threat, being a problem. Down to now 3. They've lost out on the rifles. Yes, recoverable though, and they have side control. Spike back to hand. They should be able to secure here. Can NRG cause any more mayhem?
Taking a while to get the plant down though. NRG are going to be in a position to set up here. Paranoia and a flash to come through immediately.
Yeah, they've fallen away from the site though. That allows a little bit of room for T1 to re-engage. Nicely handled here by T1. About
a ton of damage done though.
Yes. If we look at kind of, I guess, the minutiae of it, NRG will be happy with that round. They made something out of very little, but the stability from T1 to cancel on that Paranoia was fantastic.
I think Ban and Munchkin actually came out with 2K on that, so not the worst, but the timing on the swings here, NRG just so slippery to pin down. Enables Victor to find 2 with the classic. Make this interesting, yes, but T1, like you said, perfect time to cancel the plant and commit to that engagement. NRG make absolutely the right decision there. You can see the utility was on point to try and flood back onto site.
And this is when that benefit of having Sire player having those big impactful rounds early on, those first 2, he's been able to farm up towards Blaze. Munchkin finding FNS. Again, that was on that solo fight towards C. Why is Victor in the middle of no man's land? What's going on, Mike?
I mean, just absolutely collapses outside rubble here. It's a wide open A site for T1 to capitalize. Som making his way back over towards stairs, but another one that's just, it's over in the first 15 seconds.
Was it the timing that Finesse fell that suddenly Victor and Crashes were vulnerable? I want to see the timing of how those kills came in. But at this point, this round's wrapped anyway. Som and Ardis are saving. There's no questioning that here. And considering the buy, can they bolster this much? I'm trying to see if they can get any more. I think they'll be happy with what they got the upgrades on anyway. They've been able to kind of fill out the buy.
Well, this is a little unorthodox. If Ardis is going to commit his utility over towards C or towards B, okay, and Finesse not be that typical Viper anchor towards Tree, then they either need to commit to this fight or be in a position to, I guess, play damage control, right? Mitigate as much progress from T1 as possible. And they're on the hunt right now. They're looking to punish. They're looking to try and potentially remove these weapons, but still a big gap. I think there's, I mean, Som's the only one that looks like he might be caught, but Munchkin hesitant.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see a very early timeout here from NRG.
Okay.
To maybe reconsider this setup.
Yeah, I want to see the timing on this again. Yeah, finding Finesse, that's not ideal. Finesse gets found, ball's going to drop, and then, yeah, you just, Victor trying to make miracles happen at that point. It's just, I'm a little surprised that Finesse was caught, if I'm honest.
Yeah, like I said, if you're going to switch up like this, then your anchor can't die like that.
Nope.
It has to be post-contact. You know, yes, you can take a little risk and maybe spot for information, but T1 looking to continue with this pace.
NRG have taken, at least a little bit of map control elsewhere. Gonna be able to post up. I imagine it's Artis. Yeah, Artis tucked up a little bit deeper towards C, kind of off the back of Finesse. So that's gonna be those two dealing with that. But they've pulled the plug on Victor as well, bringing him back towards B, sitting super deep on this A side. Crash is just jump spotting this, if anything.
So is this NRG leaning towards a retake setup on A consistently here? Crashy's with the drop down, semi-committed towards this site hold.
What does he have? Okay. It's not much. It's been seen. Flash can be sent. Nah, no opportunities off the back of that either.
Artis has slipped through. I don't think Munchkin's in range of that turret. Could be. Yeah, he is. Actually does spot out Artis.
They're trying to fold. They're trying to fold through towards B, but Som, he's there. He's even ahead of the Flash. Great work from Som. 3 massive kills. And now, 3v2. FNS Victor and Crash, he's still not ideally equipped, but still,
30 seconds
at least with their lives, 28 seconds, and T1 are struggling. The spike is down in such a precarious position. You're gonna have to see Carpe go huge here. Still has a flash, gets the spike, waits to see anyone swing, no one does. Victor takes the next step, but takes his life with a classic.
Victor is just nuts with that gun. Finding another kill here. Finesse gonna wait things out. 10 seconds left. Munchkin, an awful lot left to do here.
Nope.
It's not pretty.
Nah, it's not going in the highlight reel.
T1 desperate to play this out and almost react based on something at NRG show. As soon as Artis is spotted on the flank, they look for this split through Link. They look to pop the door, but Som digs his heels in. Massive bailout round from him. This is on the back of what? The saved rifle and a stinger, I think?
I think it was one of the only rifles they had. Almost made it a 4th there.
One enemy remaining.
He's quite good with that gun, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's all right with it.
97 though, NRG get themselves back on the board in this half. First one they've been able to post here.
Victor going exploring with the operator. I don't think confirmed on the other side of this, but Munchkin has to be on red alert now.
While this is happening, you can see T1 taking a lot of space towards B. There is a massive amount of utility set up there though. Artis littering it on the floor. Side player's gone down as well, so that's a little bit of utility removed, but Victor has to get away from this. Oh, gorgeous. Just dips away from there. Find a new angle to play from as T1 look to try and explore that option on the C site. 4 of them now standing, and the lockdown invested. This will force the hand of NRG.
Victor desperate to try and still make something happen with this operator, but T1 wait out the timing on the lockdown perfectly. It might just catch one. Yeah, Finesse will have to wait this out.
But NRG surely can't make it back to B.
Som's got an Odin as well, so...
Can get back there. Okay. So now this is when there could be a little bit of danger on this one. The Seekers, it's all heading one way. Straight towards him. On towards CT. Plant gonna come in. Does he get denied? No. Okay. Plant's in. Time on the side of T1.
To get that down there, Bam will find one onto Artis as well. So it brings it to a 4v4.
I do like the way they kind of fought for that connector side of things rather than trying to face towards CT, but where are the options now for NRG? Brought back to 4-4, it's tricky to make this work. Operator in play, Odin in play. It's not going to be as easy to try and find those next steps, but Victor desperately looking for that pick, has to switch up to the rifle. Flash goes in, notes the player on the right. Carpe should be seen here, and he's dealt with. Victor, lovely. Next couple of steps, they're going to get a move on here. They've got the time against them, and Victor is running it back perfectly. Anyone else to find him? It's Munchkin waiting. Defuse started. Oh, and Victor again. Gorgeous from Victor. Defuse is there. NRG running it back with just a second to spare.
What an insane retake by NRG. It feels like the time has almost passed here. That window of opportunity had closed, but Victor able to pick up the pace a little bit. You see Zeta just half a second off saving Carpe with the wall going up. The finest of margins in this round. NRG will double down now, 2 rounds to the name in the second half. Haven't broken the economy just yet of T1. But we'll force the timeout.
Yeah, and I want to see what they do in these early rounds now. Starting to see a little bit more life in NRG, kind of forcing unfavorable situations to T1, losing outside player on that B take, for example, then having to pivot towards C. And again, we saw what happened there. That retake was down to literally like a second or 2 spare, but I mean, they pull it off, so you have to kind of give credit where it's due. Now about to tie things up, though, for T1, is there an easy adjustment you see in this, or is it beyond some simple adjustment?
I think if they can identify that actually it's Artist and Finesse majority of the time committing towards holding C, then they actually commit to this rubble engagement. Again, Som, he's kind of the one that's in the safest position, I'll say, inside Link, but again, for me, the weak links in terms of on paper, when you look at how NRG are playing here, it has to be Victor and Crashies. Now, that's a different discussion altogether. Calling Victor and Crashies the weaker side of the defense, exactly, of a defensive setup from NRG. But I don't think T1 have clocked onto that just yet.
No, maybe with that timeout, they've been able to kind of find it, talk through it, see if that becomes something now. This time around, a little bit of an adjusted setup as well towards C. Artist spreading the wealth of the utility as Munchkin trying to find that fair fight on FNS. Already a little bit of damage done to him, towards him, so clearly they spotted each other out in the early round.
Let's say, was that a spam from the jump spot potentially?
That's where that benefit of that Killjoy utility will be found. Artist this time with the operator towards B. That's a little interesting. Trying to imply pressure on the A side though. And T1 starting to drift away from this. That's a little bit of a different look now for T1 to try and navigate through. There's that contact also hitting on the C side.
Well, that's some utility, but it comes on very late in this round. And the problem being, these indicators is going to force them towards Artist's operator. Trailblazer will force him back a little deeper. But lots of question marks across the map here for T1.
Yeah, T1 taking the tour, right? They start out towards A, kind of split towards C a little bit now, leaning heavier this way. Can they get that lurk to be activated? Can Ban find value? Som's been outstanding at this role, and he's done it again. This guy just holding it down. Now there's really, well, shouldn't be as much doubt as there is. Artist, this is everything, and the shot's missed. Unfortunate, yes, but it's the way it goes. And now T1 have full site control. Trying to get a little bit deeper. Munchkin, it's deleted by Som. Who's trying to really hit here, bringing it to a 4v3, favorable towards NRG, but the time now is on their side. They have the plant down.
Crashies and Victor have to play damage control here. Prevent any further progress from T1 into spawn. Messiah forced back by the Paranoia. Carpe will bail him out though.
Oh, shots from Carpe. 1v2, Som's been good. Oh, you can see the Paranoia caused by that TP. Zeta still though, focused on the wall. Som looking for an opportunity, a chance. Anyone out of place, the wall's gonna drop. He sees no one. Disappeared. Spotted now. Zeta's got him. Carpe delivering well there in that post plant.
I thought the Paranoia would force them all the way back onto site, but it's actually a re-swing here from Carpe to bail Saya out, and then they double down. Massive value found. Slight adjustment on the plant as well enabled them to be more aggressive towards spawn. It's unfortunate. I think Artist is even looking there to pop the Nano Swarm potentially.
Like it's a little unfortunate.
Yeah, a rough timing moment for him.
Yep. But a different look from T1 though, kind of taking the tour of the entire map. Yes, kind of leaving a player posted on every extremity, trying to get that lurk going, but...
And it's interesting as well, because obviously without this Killjoy utility, it commits Crashies and Victor towards staying here very late. They have to prevent a lurk.
Are they getting proactive? A little bit here. Yeah, Flash goes in and say hello. The Flash found nothing. Ban a little ahead of it. Gonna note the Crashies is nearby. Gotta be careful. There are still pistols out. Guardian as well for Som. But Ban's done very well here, mitigating all of that threat that could have come through towards A. And NRG not finding the start they'd want here, maybe cause a little bit of problems on those early fights, but this buy not going to find any value so far.
Finesse does concede that space on Mound outside C, but T1 will pause, waiting for maybe an information peak. They're stacked up now and they've cut noise.
I like this though.
Confirm. Does Ardis get a chance?
Chance is a strong word. It was a glimpse for a second, and this is nice from T1. Very clean work. They were up against kind of a not really a force fight, just a very light investment. It was just bits and pieces. So not too much to write home about, at least in that round. But we have to talk bigger picture here, because that's T1 making it up to 11. That's big, and that's why NRG just hit the brakes, right? This is now it's crunch time. You've got plenty of ult zone, Mike. They got almost everything ready, barring the lockdown, which is only one away.
I mean, the stars aligned for them. They have so much to invest here behind this. This feels like a must-win. What? I mean, call it 1,500 credits across the board for NRG behind this purchase. And with a Prime Gaming flawless, actually puts T1 in a position where they can play out a few more risky engagements here. The benefit of the scoreline as well. T1 in the driving seat here. They have a Viper's Pit of their own, the Reckoning as well.
Yeah, still
hands of Zeta, so
something to play with. Well, one away from a Blade Storm as well, I think, for side player.
Yep.
Okay. This is when the game gets fun, right? Because the fact that we came onto this map and T1 clearly identifying a vulnerability with NRG, right? Maybe from that Na'Vi game, maybe even beyond that, but regardless, identifying something. This half was always the worry as well. If you're an NRG fan, you're looking at being a bit worried.
Just to talk about the setup once again, defensively, you don't want to see Finesse or Ardis really overcommit to these duels or really denying any space from T1, because like I said, Crashies and Victor have to stay in position with no Killjoy utility there to prevent a lurk from rubble through towards stairs or onto A site. They're already leaning heavily towards a retake on B and C. I mean, B's the only one that potentially they can stop a push or be there to greet the push and actually fight for it, because there's two weak extremities.
Deep breaths now. One of the ults invested so far. That's towards B, so Viper Pit going to be committed. We see a 3-play walk over towards Mound as well. Crashies, Victor, Som, all there. And it's Sire player, top of the box. Dog going to come in. Paranoia Ascent doesn't get affected by this just yet either. And it's all posturing. No commitment behind this.
Oh, but didn't want Sire to see anything there. Defensive flash to prevent a push, but look at where Victor's already disconnected to. Come back now. Som will be healed up, but no first blood conceded.
This is
T1, I guess T1 definitely looking to try and get a grasp here with the Viper's Pit towards B. It indicates a switch up. So where's that pressure point? Now we have that Killjoy utility littered across A site, and Ardis will potentially try and slow things down, maybe even get a kill and get the lockdown online. T1 still noted here.
Are they going to commit on this? I want to see if they fully go for this. They've drawn out a lot of utility, 35 seconds. They can't pivot too far away. Flash goes in, Som goes up, 21 HP though. He ain't got much to play with. The adjustments there. Side players in. Crashies holding it back with Victor. They've denied the cross and the spike's gone loose. With 24 seconds, we need miracles from Sire player, and it ain't happening. NRG with the bodies in the right place now. Munchkin knife out. He has no idea. They've already taken so much space, and Crashies wants him dead. So does Victor. Crashies the one to get him, but talk to me about that round, Mike, because that felt like T1 walked into what NRG wanted. Yeah,
I was going to say that there's no confirmation from T1 of numbers on the other side here. Big question marks, and it almost feels like, let's throw out the Reckoning and wait half a second to maybe look for a ping, but NRG are able to just position here. Again, Som takes so much damage, but as soon as he falls, there's no second layer to this from T1. Nobody sweeps around towards Waterfall. It's all one-dimensional towards Som.
It looks like they're trying to run it again. Yeah, so FNS posted towards B, Ardis over towards A this time. You know, obviously that Killjoy utility is there, but it's a switch around, right? So you've got the 4-play stack over towards the A side for T1 here, and now you can already see the hunt coming out from Victor, though. He wants to close that gap. He's found a target. He's got a victim. That's Munchkin gone, and now the backline is not secure, but you've got to go towards Ardis. In between literally a rock and a hard place. How do you get past this? Simply stall. That's what Ardis wants to do. Oh! And he does more than that! Oh, come on! This guy, always so good, but can Carpe do something unthinkable? Finding 2 already, but he's got to find 3 more. Flash not going to find anything. Does he spot a pixel out of place? No, FNS keeps himself way deeper. Flash, again, confirms no presence. Maybe feeling he's got a little bit of space for a plant, but they're so close by, Mike. This is going to be brutal for Carpe.
Yeah, to get it down, but not much time to set up here. And
no Flash. Nowhere to play. Vulnerable. Closed on. Gorgeous. NRG. That's a lovely little round there.
Artist goes huge to anchor here. Slows things down with a Nano Swarm, then isolates every single member of T1 that swings onto him. Goes absolutely huge here. Again, this adjustment of putting Artist towards A site now, feeling as if NRG have a little more freedom to take the initiative, be decisive here on the defensive side. And actually now the cracks started to show in that T1 economy that looks so healthy. When the scoreline was 11-8. Yeah. NRG, like I said, that was a must-win round, and look what position it's put them in now. A chance to tie things up.
I love the switch up again, though. Look at the variety we're seeing coming out from NRG. We're going to have this time around Artist towards that C site, littering the utility over towards there. A little deeper, though. Not going to be putting it towards that early contact. We've got the 3-play stack almost kind of working through B early on, leaving Som the solo towards A. But how far can they get towards this? You can already see T1 trying to consider their options, trying to go through the protocol list. Going to spot a little bit of attention there. And T1 have to go through such a long list to try and figure out where players are.
This thing, if you think about early on in this round as well, T1 didn't have many fact-finding rounds. So almost having to re-explore the map. NRG have made beautiful adaptations here.
Right call so far towards heading on A.
Look at the difference in terms of how deep this utility is invested from T1. And they gain nothing off this.
I think Munchkin might have heard the rotation from FNS at the very least, but there's still 2 players here, and there's still all that Killjoy utility. The adjustment's just right. Again, this is all an information game. Yes, I think he did. FNS comes back around, that's 3 players there. Is that enough of an indicator to keep them committed towards this? It's Som this time. Artist over-delivered, bailed him out last round. This time, Som's got to go huge. Paranoia sent in, should catch Sire player, but does he get out with his life? Yes. Keeps himself standing, that's all you got to say. That's all he's got to do so far.
Really well navigated by Som, actually. To not concede that first blood. NRG will be in a 5v5 retake situation. Artist does have the lockdown as well. So they're invested here, but the pick goes down and it does spread across the spike.
This becomes very usable now. FNS going to find Carpe, though. Apply that pressure through a link. Sire player trying to look towards it. Tricky to see with the lockdown in play, but still has to respect it, has to fall away. Site now going to be tested. Munchkin tries to get aggressive, and FNS not having any of what he's trying to sell. A tap of the spike will draw the player, but only to their death. Crash is going to find him, and now leaving it all down to 1, and not for long. Som takes back his site as NRG get the defuse.
Finesse stands his ground here in link, goes huge to deny that second wave of aggression from T1. And he's commanding so much respect. He's keeping 3 members of T1 fixated on this door. Unfortunately, then the pit amounts to nothing on site. NRG able to just stack numbers up here and play trades inside it. Didn't even need to play trades. Only Artist that falls here.
Pressure time now, 11-11. All tied up, map 1. T1 hitting the panic button a little now. This is, again, when we kind of talk about these teams, when we go bigger picture, depth, capability, you always give a little nod to that man there as well. Always able to give them something, you know, else to work with, a little bit of adaptation, you know, all of that experience coming through. They have that backlog of capability. T1, that's a little bit of a different kettle of fish. They're coming into this with the best they can, and they've done incredibly well to 11-11. Do they have adjustments now?
Look at the contrast in the first 6 or 7 rounds now to NRG really, I guess, spinning the wheel in terms of some of these defensive setups. And T1, like I said, there's so many question marks. As soon as they see an indicator, previously the pit outside B, they then have to explore who's where on the side of NRG. Everything they learned in the first few rounds, out the window now. Yeah,
it's the beauty of NRG that they can do that. It's a very impressive skill to have alone and be so good at it. Yes, you could, I guess, technically adjust things, but being able to be so diligent still it deserves praise. Now, what does T1 come up with, though? What is the plan here? They have the lockdown still to play with. Zeta 3 away from his ult, but that's about it, really. You have the Seekers for Crashies too. This is crunch time, isn't it? This is when... this has to be a big round from T1. I'm not sure what they're going to go for here.
Munchkin's been finding value in this lurk. Trying to slip his way onto finesse his sight previously, but switch up here. Let's have Ban in support, and NRG actually resorting back to basics. That original setup we saw with Crashies and Victor over towards A. Some in a position to crunch through on Rubble as well if they feel the heat a little bit.
I'm just trying to hedge their bets a little bit. Unsure if T1 were going to do something a little different, but it's just a pace change so far, at least this very slow approach. Maybe looking for a B crunch, maybe just looking for early success somewhere. So far, no one being given that chance. Slipping a little deeper though, Munchkin does get pretty far up on this.
Resmoke comes through. I'm not sure if Munchkin's looking to actually find a lurk. All the way up in towards spawn. Trailblazer burnt early.
That's first contact in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Does someone break the door to try and deal with the lockdown? Gonna send the paranoia, here's his chance. Door goes, as does the lockdown, Som gets away. Now, do they springboard towards B? Yes, that's the next goal for T1 here. Artist trying to hold them back as well. You've got Som pretty close by, but T1 are in on the site. We're down to 14 seconds. If anything denies this plant, we get put into problems. For now, though, T1, 5v5, post-plant on B. This is going to be chaotic, to say the least. Already, Munchkin going to find Victor. He's been holding them back towards that A site. And even the Reckoning to throw in on top.
Som's here with a shorty. He's waiting for somebody to come through. Ban on the other side with one in his hand. Som able to wait this out.
Yeah, but where do they find that next bit of success from? Just holding these choke points with the shorty. So difficult to find a way in on. Munchkin all too aware that Som could be looking from that A. They noted that flash coming out there earlier. They're running low on it. Carpe's going to find Finesse. Yes, Crashies finds one, but he needs to find a whole lot more, and he ain't got many seconds to do it in. He's gone down the T1. Looking to fold. Looking to find that purchase towards B, and they do exactly that. NRG had no answers there.
Slow burn pays off for T1. I'm looking at this, there's no pinch onto Som. Som's able to throw a paranoia, remove this lockdown for free. Yes, Artist had a little bit of utility here scattered across B site, but there was numbers for T1. And when you've drawn the attention of Som...
That should be good, right?
Yeah.
You've done the big challenge there.
Artist has to go huge there, and even... It's just a little bit late with the Cove. You think NRG are going to be able to recover there, but so much time passes before NRG make a move. Yes, they have to wait out the Reckoning, but there's no catalyst there. There's nothing for NRG to latch onto to get back into B site.
Ooh, okay. Commitment toward A, though. First time we're seeing this deep exploration coming out from Victor, coming out from Crashies. Now, T1 have been playing these patient defaults. This is going to be quite telling. I'm not sure if they spotted one or two, maybe just one. There are 3 players here. On towards Mound is the other 2, so how far does NRG go on this? It should at least cost T1 a little bit of utility on the way back, having to clear close. Should burn it up, make it a little easier to hold on towards the sites for those 2. And they have cleared that. So now where does T1 go? Again, they're not finding much of this info, Mike.
Looking to run the clock down once again. NRG relinquish some of this control towards Rubble early on. Victor and Crash is now back towards a more traditional position.
It's just Artist and FNS to hold this.
They have to go huge here.
How much can these 2 do? Nice stall for one, but Sire player reads through it. Catches FNS looking a little out of sorts, so it's just Artist, and the support's still a mile away. Trying to play cool, trying to play calm, he's gone down. T1 now with only 3 more to find, and this map's theirs. Plant gonna go in, time on their side. Crashies gone. That Sire player wanting more. Meets his maker in the form of Victor, but it is going to be just the last 2. Som and Victor try and turn any of this. Can they take it to OT on map 1? So much to come up against. Look at this. First contact on towards the turret. There's the swing, there's the kill, and there is map 1.
To the game plan sort of thing. So this is another one that I think is an example. It's going to test the preparation for NRG for something that potentially isn't, you know, familiar ground to them.
You're right. Okay, Joe, I like that. I like that. I guess if you're going to look at this map head-to-head, pound for pound, if T1 played the way NRG was going to play, NRG are going to win that every day of the week. So why not try something a little bit different? Speaking of something that's not too different is... Oh, okay, bye-bye, Victor. I guess that's how you deal with Victor trying to do those things. Something quite choreographed and well-read.
Some will get the plant through though. All will go up behind. Crashes will test it, but Carpe gets two there.
Wait,
The mosh pit finds as well.
where was the mosh pit put down? Maybe
Inside the cove.
Oh dear, NRG, this is going to be a shaky start. There we go, how much can they do here? FNS, only got one in him, not going to be able to find any more. Oh, this? Nah, not happening, T1.
This is definitely something to keep your eye on as well. We talk about now Harbor getting more playtime, I guess, across the entire map pool and counters, right? What can you do to really, I guess, remove the ability to find that guaranteed plant inside the cove? And the mosh pit, perfect example. To force them out, it gives them extra time to break it or for it to even expire. Which is something that NRG might have to adjust slightly on their default plant locations. If they've got lineups potentially for the cove coming in or anything like that, it's going to force NRG to adapt on the fly to some of these post-plant setups.
But also, I love the fact that Carpe was just sat there waiting with a shorty. Like, that made me so happy. Because again, when we look at the likes of Victor on this map, a couple of them are very like stylized, right? We're very, very aware of how they like to play because it's been so good historically. So if we get more of that, can't wait.
It's even on top of that as well, Sire with the satchels, another tool to disrupt that cove plant as well.
True.
Much slower start here. Emphasis shift from NRG towards Showers, but already Finesse has slipped the net. It's posted up, but the awareness there from Carpe. Look at the reposition here from T1.
Yeah, they're playing backside, allowing NRG. Oh, not allowing NRG anything. I've lied to you. Zeta doesn't even see him to kill him. They do make it towards the site, but that weapon just ain't enough. Carpe feeling the pressure now, though. Artist wants to close that gap, but he can't quite do it, so he has to just sit by Tribox. He's down to the last two. They do get the plant down. Carpe could do with some help here. Being toyed with, yeah, an Artist given no play in that. Som now, last one there. Dizzy gonna be sent on it. And hello, final player, Som! A little spicy, but ain't gonna be enough. That's three standing, that's a defuse. T1 looking very composed here, Mike.
Carry across three weapons as well. Carpe and Sire, 400 and 500, sorry, 50 credits. So we're not going to play this through and try and protect the economy a little bit. The early progress here from Carpe will result in the ultimate being available in round 3. Zeta just catches a glimpse. Makes them pay for it. Usually for the first time on the score towards B, or at least initially here, lent that direction. Another thing, got my eye on, as always, Finesse. What value can he find behind this wall to lurk up on short? Heavy lean towards A here from T1.
He's got a lot of players to potentially find value against. Three there. Oh, hello. Munchkin noting quite the substantial presence towards B long.
And a big indicator who it was as well. It's the Sky and the Rays. So no rotation comes through just yet. I want to see Munchkin back off a little bit and respect this pressure early on.
I think he's just trying to buy a couple. I don't know. He's not even.
Nobody's moving
rotating.
yet,
Yeah. So I guess him holding like that was a little bit daring, but does eventually slip back towards elbow.
Maybe posturing up a little bit just to imply there is a second player of T1 here, but NRG looking to follow through.
Now I want to see the commitment on this.
Is this just all catered towards isolating a player outside hookup? Maybe a TP crunch coming through.
Okay, burning the ult. That should confirm there's no one on the site, so it should be rather telling that it is just one player, so they should be able to get the plant.
Yeah, they cleared through with Carpe's ultimate.
Yeah, okay, so noting very little, sees a whole lot. Now it's time to go. Can they make anything of this? Yes! Sire player there so quickly. Finesse trying to backfill though, gonna catch at least the support system of Carpe coming in, but now Sire player's attention turns. And it's gonna be FNS looking vulnerable, but standing tall. On towards the site though, any more presence coming in from CT. Munchkin, yes, noted, and not handled, crashing. Oh, Munchkin! The Forbes, unreal! And now FNS and Victor, looking worse for wear. FNS is the best he can. 3 huge kills. It's all on Victor in a 1v2. This shouldn't have been this close. They reveal, and now the 1v1. Victor is ice cold in these though. He's not gonna fall for it, he doesn't. NRG barely make it out breathing, but still standing with 1 on the board.
Victor goes huge with the Red Bull clutch, and T1 really taking the fight to NRG on this B site execute. Beautiful approach here. Maybe this is the indicator here with Carpe's ultimate of how they want to approach some setups here. Heavy emphasis towards A early on. They don't spot Finesse on that deep lurk outside.
Without him,
And
that
he
round
goes
would be
huge.
lost.
Yeah, 3 kills on the round for him. It's only, I believe, Zeta's Snakebite that finally brings him down.
That was the bonus, keep in mind. That was T1 with far less. Now we see them on the bite. What does NRG have to bring to it?
Well, Artist down on a Spectre here. Has to prioritize, obviously, the wall. And does actually go for a full shield here.
Okay, so Zeta and Carpe playing once again backside, super deep. Information, nothing noted down towards Fountain, deep B long. You already saw the, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Munchkin sending out utility there time and time again. Still nothing flagging, so they've got to be aware there's a high chance it's coming towards A. They've pulled over the third player. Slayer player now towards the A site, and NRG playing contact. They're so deep already.
Probably wondering, but yeah, where do you want to play it?
A little bit of an anti-plant setup almost there. Mosh pit going to be invested, allows time for a little bit of a second glance from Carpe. Spams in, maybe looking for Victor, but he doesn't find the target. A little delay on the plant. Sure, Slayer players Paint Shell will find some though, but the plant is in now.
Artist is going to have his hands full. Luckily slips away from short. 2 players from T1 look to retake that space. Pit invested towards Lamps here. It's going to allow NRG to solidify this hold for the time being.
Crashies can't stay alive. Ban's got him. And now they start to get back towards the site. Artist falls, and now it's down towards what's in the pit. You just saw Victor slip on through. I'm pretty sure you've just seen. FNS gets a little closer, but falls. And now it's all revealed. The fuse comes in. T1 navigating this NRG threat so well. 3 alive. The fuse is there. 3-1 now.
Carpe waits until the final moment when there's definitely a commitment behind this utility. And that's the catalyst for T1 to follow through. NRG, like I said, it feels as if scratching their heads walking up here onto A site. Not a single player showing their hand from T1.
Because it kind of felt bizarre almost that we've seen T1 kind of play like backside, right, sitting super deep, but then their anti-plant setup's kind of denying that space between, you know, the mosh pit coming in, the paint shells, everything else. They've got a lot of kit to kind of give themselves that retake potential almost before the spike's even down.
Victor does have the showstopper here. Side player in a position to greet them, but Crashies will punish for the Sheriff.
There are 3 players here though from T1. So this was a sack. It is going to be only Munchkin over towards that B side, so they should be able to hold on towards this one. And NRG finding more connections. Oh, Ban, that's nasty. FNS is not going to be happy with that. Ban wants him dead. One more shot in this. And one more bullet, but Zeta's Snakebite will do it. Even just some Crashies now. Spike's not even down. T1 really problematic to play against. I feel we're going to see a timeout from NRG. Soon is a strong word, but I think we'll see it relatively quickly as this is very much a different looking bind coming out here. Do we just see Seekers?
Yeah, Munchkin's just posted the Seekers on B.
Wow.
A little bit of an over-investment here, but I guess T1 desperate to convert this anti-eco. Crashes down to 32 HP and Som down to 78, so got a question there. Som's already done some work here from that same position with the Sheriff, but Zeta shuts it down. A pit as well. T1 throwing everything here.
30 seconds left.
They're terrified of Crashies. Already got 2 kills this round and gets himself the Phantom.
Well, now's the time to be scared when he's got the upgrade.
20 seconds to play with and 32 HP. Dips on in, tries to keep
He's got time to hit this TP.
I think he's going to do just that. Munchkin low camp position just to catch across. He has to just beeline towards the site. This shouldn't happen, and it won't. A lot invested into that, but for T1, I guess it's another round posted.
Yeah, but I'm looking at that. It's a massive over-investment in my eyes.
Doesn't even break the bank either.
I mean, the pit's the one that's...
That felt like a lot.
Yeah. Especially here on the defense on bind, but have to wait and see if that amounts to anything here. Obviously, showstopper available. Crashes now with the Seekers online. NRG with the advantage. Maybe T1 just throwing those in, knowing that NRG slightly off kilter with this ult cycle.
Aggression?
Yeah, looking to switch things up massively. Deny this space from Finesse, but...
And how contrasted. We've seen them playing deep backside. First challenger found and falls. It's Sire player going down, and FNS passes with flying colors.
They're on opposite sides of the wall there. Carpe swinging one way, Sire swinging the other. A little bit disjointed, and we saw a few examples of that on Lotus, but time being, NRG a 5v4 situation presented.
Scout destroyed.
now they're exploring towards showers. They're desperate to get FNS down. But look at his positioning. So hard to clear. There's no way you're going to be going that deep, are you? How far do they take this? FNS could be anywhere in their minds, but the crazy part is that NRG are coming back this way. This could be bizarre in a couple of seconds now.
I've got your trail.
The Seekers should tell, yeah, a very, very strange picture that someone's pushed up, but do they expect a second player here as well? It'll be very difficult for them to get out of this.
30 seconds left.
And in position to fire over, Crashy stands tall, finds the first, but Carpe will respond. A 3v4 now for T1. Not much utility to work with either, outside of Carpe.
Flash just back on now for Munchkin. Contact there, picked up, fully flashed, fully white. It's Zay to take down Som, they know where Victor is. And he's gonna have to pop the ult, he has to do it! He only gets down one though, but he still gets to keep his life. Diffuser started, gets denied, Carpe gets off it, takes down FNS. Now down to the 2v2, but time is ticking. They've got to find these final players and Artist. He's holding that back line. Munchkin now, forced further away. Victor puts him to his grave. NRG burns a whole lot, but they walk away with their second now.
Okay,
Cool thing here for NRG to reduce this lead.
Hopefully that's enough.
Again, looking at where the purchase will lie here. Munchkin toying with a Guardian, but
30 seconds
yeah,
left.
very, very strange to see Sire and Carpe so disconnected here. It was those two players on Lotus I'm talking about. There was a couple of examples where
Female in my fam.
these swings just aren't diligent enough versus a team like NRG. A Judge, a Stinger, Marshall here, so light investment on the side of T1.
NRG just going through the checklist, right? Clearing out to a shower, spamming out box. And they are now forced the hell away. Ban. I'll stick around on this a little bit and gonna lose his life. A little bit of an interesting choice, yeah. Wrong call there from him. Carpe tagged up. Paint Shell could be the death of him too. See how much damage he takes. Fair amount. Down very low here. You're already gonna hear that TP taken. Shot comes out. Victor very, very clean on this. And the last two players, Zeta and Munchkin, this is a near an impossible situation. A Sheriff and a Judge. Very hard to pry any more value out of this round. As NRG looking to stabilize here, and they're not far from it. It should be a 3-4 scoreline. Potentially 5 alive if they are managing to stay away from those last two weapons.
Zate's just desperately waiting for anything. I don't think we'll even find a consolation. NRG should be able to solidify their position overall here. Give them effectively a round in hand if they can keep this. Keep all of these weapons on the board. Be careful. Zeta doesn't follow into the TP, but no, opposites just fall. And building back towards a couple of these ultimates as well. Victor, 4 away from the showstopper again. Ardis just about getting close to that first res. The T1 actually with that overinvestment previously. In a pretty good position in terms of this ult cycle, Lauren.
Yeah.
Carpe back on that ultimate. We saw it used in what, round 3? Sire play on the showstopper as well. NRG looking to continue pressuring this A site hold. Curious of what the adjustment is here for T1.
Victor, first port of call to try and take a little bit further control now. Over towards Lamps. We have seen that T1 are happy kind of playing from backside to an extent. They're very tough to get away from able to deny the plant coming in, but that could be quite telling. First time we're seeing Artist down deep by Fountain. But wait, you're seeing them walk behind this. Hold on. Munchkin's going looking for this fight here. Pop Flash. We sent through Artist. Got to be ready for this one. He's not. Munchkin commits, and now this is scary, right? Trying to get through. They push through this. There's that ult as well. Masses of information. Paint Shell sent as well. Lovely combination work.
Som stuck in the detain. falls to the paint shell. Mosh Pit denying space to Finesse here.
Slowing him down.
Yeah, Carpe stalling this one out.
Sire player on the way as well. Still Boombot there. Still has the ult as well. Maybe they could decide to dip through the TP if they want to. But again, look towards where Munchkin's positioning is. He can be such an issue if they want to try and cross out
30
through
seconds
from
left.
Luka. Down to 27 seconds. Flash. They know it. They know what's their way. Zayd's going to find it. Finesse. And there's going to be the showstopper. Crashies making something for it. But 18 seconds, a 1v2. It ain't going to be easy. Oh, he makes a damn good go, but the positioning was great from Munchkin. They're on time, and keeping T1 just a little further ahead of NRG.
Yeah, maintaining a 2-round gap here. T1 will be able to scrape together. NRG actually going to pump the brakes here. Call a timeout. Some of these pinches through the TP, you can see Som just desperately trying to get away.
Yo, not even close!
It was pretty close.
Not even-
Yeah, it was pretty close. So yeah, curious if NRG are going to come out and switch things up a little bit here. Testing this A site hold once again. I guess struggling a little bit in terms of finding some sort of comfort here on the attack. It feels very, very hit or miss in terms of they find an opening engagement and create an opening, but T1's utility work has been fantastic there.
Yes.
They're ticking both boxes for me here. The anti-plant setups are perfect, and again, using the utility to stall when they do feel the pressure, and they concede that first blood as well.
Yeah, it's such a different tempo and kind of pacing to the game. Considering that, it's a very unique lineup in the agent composition that, as you said, it makes the rhythm that NRG are trying to set a little off kilter. It's a little harder to depend on those plants coming in because it's, again, T1 will give up vast majority of side control. We're rarely seeing them go for those early challenges apart from that one that went pretty poorly against FNS. They can sit back, kind of just keep denying time and time again until those rotations are in. They have, the nice 5v5 on the site if they don't lose players. But I do want to see what NRG now lean towards, right? They've kind of had a lot of that test towards A. We haven't seen them explore that B site all too often. Might be seeing it now.
Blinded.
We have Artis and Finesse disconnected from this, so a widespread default. Take control outside the TP here, but Artis have his hands full if T1 look to aggress, and not expected at all. Artis finds 2 absolute freebies.
Do they just take the TP and go? Surely. Yeah, you absolutely do. Now, the only man who can stop him is Carpe. Moshpit going to buy time, isolate a fight towards FNS, but not enough. FNS disrespecting that. Goes back in for a second look, and why not? Sight's all theirs, Plant going to come in. This should be comfortable.
Carpe thinking he'd force Finesse off that angle, but
Spike planted.
he said re-challenging opens the site up for NRG. T1 a little lazy on this push out of showers, you got to say. Try and pull something like that out of a timeout. You have to anticipate NRG have switched things up.
Last player standing.
Crash is sharper than Munchkin this time around.
It's just,
Just out in no man's land.
Yeah.
Zeta positioned here in elbow.
yeah. Credit here to NRG for adjusting very well after that timer, but I think you're right in kind of highlighting that sort of clear through showers. I guess it's the first time they'd seen that sort of thing, maybe just expecting FNS, but not expecting an adjustment off the back of the timeout. Maybe short-sighted there.
Yeah.
And again, like to have seen a little bit more intent behind it. Does Victor get this final one? See. Yes, he does. Okay. Rifle removed. I want to see where the money lays for T1 as well.
T1's success hasn't come from aggression or being proactive here on the defense, so that's why it's a little strange to see it right out of the timeout.
You fought well.
I think it's, yeah, bands deeper on the angle. It's, I don't know if they're expecting to swing at the same time here, but just off kilter. I even said earlier on in this map, it's not the first time we've said that in this series about T1. Some of the setups they have.
That's a good picture of Wing.
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. But now, there should be formalities underselling these sort of rounds. I want to see if one NRG
NRG should tie up here, though.
Yes, it should be 5 apiece, considering if it does get into dangerous territory, you have 3 very impactful ults coming through. You have the full purchase. you've been having the success you need, it would need someone to be either caught in a terrible mistake or over-delivering massively. For now, seemingly very cognizant of Munchkin's positioning. It's been a bit of a nuisance towards Ardis when they had been going for that heavier lean towards A, and Ardis left to kind of deal with him towards long. Dog to clear, Ardis to follow, and Munchkin has to respect that.
Here.
Very early on, though, you just see Munchkin solo posturing towards B. This time around, 3 teammates stacked behind him, so he's going to try and bait out a little bit of pressure here. Ardis needs full effect on that flash, and Munchkin posts up deeper on the angle.
I kind of like what Munchkin's doing, though. He's like almost overselling, right? He's like trying to bait them in towards playing the site, which with the Seekers coming in kind of negates that. It loses a little bit of its validity as NRG go, hold on, all of those Seekers just went towards this site. I think there's a stack.
Looking to commit behind it, though. Victor looking to find some space. All committed now. Showstopper as well.
Yeah,
Next found one.
time, 10 seconds, hold on.
Remaining.
Where's that final player, Sire? What can you do about this? Only a Sheriff, 5 seconds, the plant's in. Victor, down low. But the rest sitting pretty. Perfect HP, this would need miracles for Sire player. And NRG are giving him nothing. No flank to be seen, they are sat waiting. These crossfires breaking would be very difficult. And again, no one's moving a muscle. NRG are waiting this one out. Swans Victor takes him. He was the weaker of the 3. And the other 2 can just filter away, posture towards long, get ready to slip away. And Sire player losing these opportunities second by second here.
That's on the way out. No, Som turns on it. NRG do try things up. 3 fall, but finances protected here. We have to purchase out for the rest of the half. Requires a little bit of investment on the side of NRG. Only the res available here. I said time definitely became a factor here, and that's where actually some of these scrappy little stacks can cause problems. NRG wise to it, clean up nicely.
It's a remix. Okay, so Seekers for Munchkin, Reckoning as well. Zeta's actually only one away too, that could be interesting. I wonder if that comes through in this round. What do we have here as the start? So a little bit more of an interest towards the A site that, I mean, it's your bog standard default really, but with a little bit of intention towards Shower behind it, and FNS slipping on up.
The adjustment here though being it's banned to support Carpe and not Zeta this time around. See, only 1 snake bite. I don't know if that was invested or wasn't brought into the round.
Something magnificent about hearing Wingman in this arena. Seekers going to come through, as does Munchkin. This now is a crunch, but Crashies fights his way out of it with FNS's deeper position. It catches off Carpe, and now the plant can come in. They've got them pinned. Now, Victor, how much more you got? Oh, that's just ridiculous work, but Munchkin overwhelms him. We're down to a 3v3 here. This is still very, very possible. Tough work, though, for Zeta to try and build back through from CT.
No utility to work with. Munchkin down to 9 HP and Ardis looking to punish. Munchkin post up at the angle though.
Oh, he's got
a
him!
kill.
Massive player advantage now. FNS and Som. Starting to feel that strain. Som trying to slip away a little deeper as FNS trying to readjust here. Make it work on the fly. T1 starting to be hands forced here. Have to make the way. And FNS doing everything he can. Oh, it's not enough. This time is on their side. T1 clawing this back.
Finesse nearly with a beautiful on-the-fly adjustment of this Poison Orb. Finds a freebie in the backlines and bails out. Som here. Yeah, Munchkin, this is the crucial kill. Ardis is readjusting here, potentially to find that res, to get an extra body back online in Showers. Beautiful awareness from Munchkin. Carpe brings a Bulldog in here, but 1 away from the ultimate once again. Zeta, Sai, and Ban all have theirs available. Viper's Pit off the rip. Will secure that Showers control early on. Everyone should lean deeper towards this B commitment. As you can see, actually, yeah, Ban making his way across. And Carpe retrieved the orb as well, so beautiful position to be in here for T1.
Yeah, you can see Carpe's diligence starting to show because he's been punished by FNS slipping here so many times. As I think FNS is timing on that. Yeah, okay. Carpe was ready for it this time, but has to make a quick evacuation. The site is fully under NRG control. They've got everything they want. Yes, the mosh pit's going to come in to slow it down a little bit. Viper's Pit being almost thrown up as well. This is everything being poured in. Victor going to isolate Carpe with just the spam straight on through. The plant denied still, held off still. See T1 want to fight back in.
Finally, the plant comes through. Shows
Oh,
Copper here.
denied.
Saya doesn't commit through, but
Oh, get TARDIS!
wait, Som took the spike through the TP.
Tom's got to run.
Whoa.
He's
I
a
was gonna
lucky
say,
boy.
Munchkin.
He's heard this. Surely Munchkin has heard these steps. They bought so much time for this. What a bizarre scenario, Mike.
30 seconds left.
So many ults committed here on site. So much utility.
25.
A lot of time left on the clock.
Look at Munchkin.
This is huge.
If they have any more utility to throw in, this would be the time. Slow it down for just a second or two, and Munchkin can be down. Oh, the TP! They're making a run for it. 13 seconds. They're off. He's double checking. He's making sure. He's triple checking. But no, they've made it all the way out to B. And if you're Munchkin, you are furious with this. With only a second to spare, the plant is in, and Saya player overextends a little too far. It's Victor to find him. And now man advantage sat with NRG.
Crashy's looking to make something work in elbow here. Van has to find this kill if it's doable for T1, and he doesn't. Crashy's will shut him down.
Tied all up. This could be 6 apiece on the half here. Munchkin, good work. Needs a lot more though. Tag and the frag. Zeta gets it. Time now.
Safe plant.
Oh my god, it is. They've got to fight into it. Just Crashies. It ain't pretty. Zeta gets towards halfway. He's got to go huge. He can't do it. Crashies closing in on the gap. 6 apiece. I don't know how this then translates into the second half though, Mike, because I just don't know enough about this composition, right? When we see these agents coming out, how viable is it on the second half here? Yes, it looked great on the first half. They've certainly kept up at 6 apiece. I keep going back to, historical results. You go to what you know, and obviously NRG, on paper, you got to put a lot of stock in them. But here, they're being challenged by all occasions.
So I will actually be in position to receive a lot of information early on here. NRG will have to pivot away, or reposition at least. Ardis tasked with anchoring towards A. Late investment of the wall outside showers, so we'll give him some sort of comfort. NRG still looking to probe here.
They're going to carry on this path. They're stuck in no man's land. They've got to win the fights, and they do. Som and FNS keeping NRG standing in this, but look at the HP. Yes, they're down low. Can Saya player catch the punish? I think FNS has read it well. Absolutely now hearing that frenzy fire. The Pain Shell, Munchkin tries to slip away a little quietly on this. Still trying to go for the same approach though.
No regrowth here from Crashies, so Finesse down to 18, Som down to 10. Ardis on the other side of the map won't be able to heal anybody up. And they're committing towards this 4-man stack. They're expecting T1 to wait outside this cut sound and wait for the rotation to come through, but we can see it's not happening. And actually, that's a big, big tool for T1 to work off now. The flash finding nothing, and NRG drift away, Lauren.
Yeah, you can see Ardis maybe calling for help. A little bit of utility coming through that's keeping his attention turned. But now, does Crashies call him back? No, not yet. They're leaving it down to the 2 here. Som is very low, though, and he's held his ground well. Munchkin going down is huge. And now just the 2 remaining. But yes, the HP is low, but the heals are going to come out. You're going to start seeing some of these players getting back on their feet. It's only Som really left. Down on very little. Need almost an oversell here. And Saya player trying to be pivotal, trying to be that guy. Does do well, but he's lost Zeta in the meantime. Now there's problems. How does he get past 4 players? That's the first, that's the second!
He's got the nade!
Shell, switch up to the ghost! Not gonna happen! Wow, FNS called in there to deal with the problem that was on the site, because that got way too close.
Yeah, T1 played this to perfection, though. Like I said, waiting outside here, NRG anticipating that, the flash finding nothing, and they commit to that rotation. Luckily, though, Som with 10 HP finds a crucial kill to bring it to a 5v2. Massive from him. Saya makes that one interesting, yes, but can't get anything done with the nade reset. Just a Marshal invested here, 2 Sheriffs, Zeta and Carpe.
Toxins going up.
Really, in this half, you're looking for NRG to, again, mitigate some of the risk early on with this utility from T1, but also prevent T1 from really having strength to set up for some of these executes. curious once we get to the buy rounds how NRG will approach this.
Just the same old exchange of utility. I wonder if maybe Carpe and Ban could have caught a little timing on FNS there, but no. He's been playing a very, very good game, FNS. Playing in crashes here on that lovely little pop flash. Lovely. Keeping it clean. Fix is in the right place. T1 not finding any real room to work here. I mean, the spikes are back down in spawn. They're not particularly doing too much in that way.
Look at the probe on both extremities, try and find something tangible to work from.
Shield going up.
NRG able to slow this down though. Saya going hunting, but Ardis is positioned close on bench here.
30 seconds left.
Will punish. Carpe down to 1 HP.
One enemy remaining.
Come through, Ban will respond. Anything extra here will be a bonus, but Ardis finds his third.
It didn't feel like there was masses of intent from T1 in that when you see
Not a
the
lot of
spike
threat,
left
no.
down. Nah. But the bonus isn't going to be particularly strong coming out from NRG, so a very good opportunity for T1 on this buy to come back in with something that should get them in this round, or at least in this half.
Yeah, coming to this with a Stinger, 2 Spectres. NRG definitely trying to prop themselves up a little bit here. Some early rounds. Saya player already 2 away from the showstopper.
We go.
About the only progress to write home about. I guess Som 2 off the reckoning on the other side of things. Deep control maintained here. The wall, but again, it's so early on that T1 probably going to wait this out. A little bit of Ardis love in the picture-in-picture there.
We all love Ardis deep down.
Yeah, you might not see it on this map, though.
No.
Angel's about the only person excited watching this.
He's absolutely frothing over this one. Loves a bit of it. Now, we are seeing a late walk down mid. Hold on. Ardis and Som. Is T1 checking it? Yeah, they do. Okay, so they're a little aware there's a chance there's that little deeper exploration mission with 49 seconds now. T1 starting to make their move towards the A site. As Ardis does need to slip away. Find a corner of safety. Try and find a fair fight. He's done it. Overwhelms Carpe and gets himself an upgrade.
Yeah.
Suddenly becoming a little bit more dangerous. Has to wait for the other 3 to make it towards the site. The plant is down now.
Zeta, no snake bite, Saya, no paint shell, so not a lot in terms of utility here to disconnect from sight. Zeta and Munchkin, are they looking to re-clear back through showers? Potentially, but a little bit of damage done onto Saya is going to force him back deeper. They've got to be quick about this if they want to.
Yeah, they've left him very alone, but Saya player apparently good for it. Got the ult as well, going to probably send that. Yes, he does. Doesn't get it, though. FNS! Oh, okay, it's Munchkin to hold on to this. Victor does have a rifle, he had it at the start of the round. Not going to get the chance to fully bring it in. T1 surviving there with 2 standing. Casualties for sure, but still.
So yeah, NRG draw blood and force a massive repurchase here. Now Elias Munchkin's going to drop one across. And very diligent on the approach here to re-clear Som on top of the box because it's Ardis to bait out the presence.
I got yous, okay?
T1 actually on the brink of a couple more ultimates though. Seeker's nearly there, Reckoning nearly there. LG do have the res, and actually Som 1 away from his as well. LG looking to get a little proactive potentially here, or just retrieve the orb. Carpe close, but not there to punish.
No, just a second or 2 off from that. You can see the progress being made on the other side of the map though, so hookah control will be in T1's hands. FNS calling over some support here. Going to be seeing Victor lean over a little, but going back towards 8. Maybe feeling out the pressure over towards it, not reading into too much. But Sideplay's got a dirty little angle. If anyone does try and come over to try and hit that rotation.
A very deep hold on B here. Finesse tucked outside the spawn entrance and crashes over towards elbow. But not committed angles here.
I think the flash wouldn't have found anyone there. The second one will do. Okay. Should be enough to pull over the players here as well. Side players on the site, so he's been able to clear pretty well through this. You noted it earlier though, very, very deep hold coming out from NRG. Maybe leaning straight into that retake rather than the challenge.
Again, an overstep here from Zeta because NRG have the Reckoning, so a big retake ultimate available here.
Speak of it. What does T1 do about this? Try and take a fight on the way out, but you can already see them being caught, being crossing away from elbow, and it's so clean on the playback in. So clean from NRG.
Victor too with the paint shells. Was that off the stun? I saw some get the assist for it, but two people eat the same stun for the Reckoning and die to the same paint shell. Not sure if we'll get a chance to look at that.
There it is.
Yeah, get forced back inside the tube. That's huge. And again with, I'm not sure why, but unorthodox plant spot here forces T1 into a very committed post plant on site.
Yeah, a little underwhelming in that round for me for T1, a little bit short-sighted, considering the kit, the tools that NRG had to play with. Crashies this time. Tested quicker, but again, look at the bite. Okay, Sire players found him behind that wall, so that is a recoverable rifle if we see FNS going to sit a little bit deeper, which I feel like he will do. Can't particularly stand and fight on this one, no. He will respect it enough. So that is a rifle to hand. Zeke is going to come in as well. They want this one. Well, going to be coming through. And all players towards CT for NRG.
That's it. Ultimate coming through here. Carpe going to clear some space. Does it catch anything?
Nah.
And ready to follow up, but nothing comes of it.
A little window towards site. Didn't find much this time with the paint shell though. 3 players towards elbow, 1 towards CT. Artist trying to be held back here. Lovely control being shown by Sire player. But you saw in the meantime, Son did isolate Munchkin. Swing through the wall, they lose. Sire player still standing, but only for so long. Once again, NRG pulling off these retakes very well.
Sire finds 3 on the round, but nobody else from T1 able to secure a kill. Victor back on the showstopper now. NRG on 10. And a crucial round here for T1 to come back into.
This is a timeout. I mean, the side, we kind of looked to see how it looked on the second half here, Mike. It's not looked good.
Yeah, it really hasn't. We haven't seen much value, if any, from the utility on some of these executes. Yeah, it's only really Band's utility that's the focal point of these executes. So very curious to see if T1 are able to dig a little deeper here and show us something else.
Yeah, I kind of hoped we'd see that same, slightly varied approach that we did on that first half. Brought in here something a little bit new.
Yeah, the difference in reliance on that utility is this is the half you expect to see.
Yes. Yeah, it's a bit strange. Now, obviously for NRG, if you're going to play them at a more standardized pace, a more standardized game, they're going to thrive in this, which we are seeing now. All going to come in though. Son being chased down here. Side player is hot on his heels, but not going to overextend on this. Artist already going to be holding back Ban. Falls away. Again, this is feeling individual, but it's worked well enough at least for one. Seeker comes in. Son can't quite step forward in time. I thought he'd have that one. Spraying wildly towards CT, but the plant has at least gone through for T1 this time.
No flank coming through, so T1's backline will be safe for the time being. Again, look at the utility. There's nothing available now for T1. Victor has a showstopper to work his way back in. A flash for Crashies now, who's on the operator. And 2 snake bites for Finesse.
Oh, denied! Oh, right back at you though. Som showing up here. Crashies connecting. And NRG signed up front the side. Can Carpe and Munchkin do anything? No! NRG once again strolling through him.
So T1 just have no tools available whatsoever. NRG, yes, they concede the plant, but it doesn't cost them an awful lot.
Nope.
There's none of this inventory being drawn out by T1.
I'm honestly a little underwhelmed.
I mean, the timeout's coming now, but it's very late in the day. There's not enough rounds really to play with here. That felt like a must-win. They get the plant, yes, so it might enable a light shield purchase, but there'll be gaps in the utility, or you're forced onto an SMG. Well, see here on the screen, forced back in, a judge potentially in the hands of Saya, player who does have the showstopper, and rifles across the board. Zeta being the only asterisk. A Bulldog, but favoring the utility.
Yeah, Victor's got the operator though, and that scares the life out of me. They will be able to get pretty close towards him. He has to respect that utility and back away here. Saya player to get anything.
What?
Huh?
They tried to pinch through showers, but the showstopper doesn't find his Som. Invulnerable in that position, apparently.
I'm a little heartbroken from that. That looked pretty on the money. Ban gonna suffer the damage to try and get the plant down, but it's something to get the punish towards Munchkin. And now 3v3. Artis even having that res in pocket, gonna bring him back up towards 4, but Ban gonna find Crashies, okay. The HP a little low, yes. Damage trying to come through. Just trying to hold on in this pit. Being surrounded, chipped away at Carpe, takes a step through. Isolating Som is perfect, but can he find the final 2 here? Carpe trying to slip around a little here. This could be everything! He can't quite adjust towards Victor, but he's made it doable. He's made it possible, but the paint shell's so good. He's taking him down so low. And Victor! Didn't even see him.
What? That is ridiculous from Victor. Goes absolutely huge for NRG to find them their 12th. Baited in perfectly.
Match point.
T1. This is going to be a hard game to look back on this map here. Now the money's pretty shoddy too. Operator still out. But this just hasn't felt like they've got this half at all.
No, I mean, look at the timeline here. It tells you exactly what you need to know. The last 4 rounds, all defusals for NRG. T1 burning everything up in terms of utility to get them into a post plant, and then they have nothing at their disposal.
Yep, NRG starting to outclass here, but it ain't over yet. Got a long way back though, and FNS gets away with his life. Still standing. Needs the res. Oh my god. Victor! How is he getting away with this sort of thing? I mean, this half has been black and white. NRG.
Super win through is what it felt like. EDG definitely felt like they were the ones in the driving seat, but even regionally, there have been some concerns with T1's performances on Pearl in particular. Obviously, those 2 losses to DRX are the ones that stand out, because Pearl doesn't really sit in DRX's wheelhouse in terms of, you know, the upper side of their map pool. So it's definitely be an interesting one. See NRG's previous appearance here, that loss to Cloud9. I'm not sure T1 are going to be able to achieve the same sort of things. Artis digging very deep for this engagement though. Munchkin, a ton of damage done, but stays standing.
I've got to say it. As someone from EMEA casts that region, the vast majority of the time, I've missed watching Artis on a jet. That's always normally a treat. Let's see how he fares in this one. Crashies and Victor going to sit a little deeper on the angle. I think that's going to have all the information, though. Yeah, Artis called back in to try and handle this, and he does! 3 big kills! Beautiful work, saving his 2 teammates who'd pushed a little deeper towards CT. So what can Munchkin and Zeta achieve?
2v3 now. Snakebite sent in. Som will have caught the information on the second as well. Crisp on the first headshot. Just Munchkin now, tagged up earlier on, 20 HP left, and a classic in hand. Nothing else to work with, and Crashies will seal the deal. NRG will find themselves the pistol round here on Pearl. So a beautiful, beautiful opener here from Artis. Again, great setup as well. 2 stacked up close here. Yes, Victor falls, but Artis there to bail out Crashies, who got stunned up by the Trailblazer, by the way. The clearance would have been pretty easy for T1 on the way back through. Very aggressive stance to take as well.
So we see that Marshall Alpha Sire player. Beyond that, it's just classic. So again, keep it clean. See how quickly Artis can build as well towards the knives. And poor old Munchkin. Oh dear. I wouldn't go any further on that pathway. Yeah, it does dip away. Keeps itself alive, so again, not the worst outcome possible, but beyond that, NRG just testing the waters really, taking the tour.
Finesse hasn't been spotted out on the other side yet, but Saya posted up with the Marshall. Will be greeted by a few members of NRG here as they crest the corner. And no confirmation just yet, though. T1 have lent heavily towards A. Finally now, Ban rotating back across, but Sight has to go huge if anything is to happen here in this round. Ardis finds him though.
Yep, chip damage on Ban as well. With that sort of control, they can get the plant down. B-side's theirs.
Spike
It's going to be
planted.
very hard for T1 to forge any path back through as well. One flash to play with, yeah, Carpe's got a little bit of utility. But even with that in mind, what are you meant to do?
I don't even think NRG want to go fishing for these frags either. T1 probably just going to sit behind this and wait it out. Learning classics in hand. Probably just going to give this up to the spike. Ashes with a ghost, yeah, maybe go and explore it. Try and find some progress towards the ultimate. Too much of it, and Som actually finds two, but Fan responds. Try and protect both rifles though, yeah, Bulldog and Phantom carried across. Do you find the second?
Okay, freestanding. Got what they need, as you highlighted, protecting those rifles. Now, this is when I want to start seeing T1 dictate the pace a little more. Kind of stop being told what the round's going to look like. Take some matters into their own hands, because I feel like they've been a passenger in the last, at least that last half on the second map, and now at the start here, but let's see what they come up with this time.
Munchkin actually donning the Odin here.
That's how you survive.
And a 4-play stack to maybe try and fish Finesse out of this position on B long. Finesse disengages very quickly, actually. Not sure if there was any sound cues coming through. Munchkin just looking to commit to this span. Ardis takes a ton of damage. Still 71. Get topped off a little bit here with the regrowth.
He starts his exploration towards CT again. They've got the site that they want.
The awareness is there from T1, but again, it's that same 3-tiered setup here towards dugout.
No flash this time for Carpe, so it's got to be the dog, and Ardis gets caught here. Ban's gone down. Not sure how that happened, but oh dear. Yeah, follow-up as well. T1 held back. Unable to make anything of this. They have to back away and keep those weapons.
Munchkin finds a consolation, but this deep control, once again, like I said, that 3-layered setup towards dugout pays off for NRG. I want to see the adjustment from T1 to take another look at how they want to defend A site. I don't know if in this round they're just expecting the bread and butter Pearl gameplay of run it down B long, but Munchkin, unless he's given, you know, potentially 1 or 2 kills here with the spam from the Odin, this round is...
There's always going to be...
Yeah, they're playing from the back foot.
This, I need to see a little bit of a personality change here from T1. You can't let NRG just have their entire game plan against you. I don't know how you're meant to dissuade it now, but the adjustments there, though. They've brought 2 additional players over towards the A side. The flash is going to be highly telling that this is a very different look. Carpe trying to, I guess, be the front man of this one. Does have side player by his side, so NRG given a different perspective here.
Looking a little more traditional in terms of the setup from T1. Munchkin will tuck in towards Link, but actually now repositioning back towards Halls here. So an Ardis does still have his dash, so he'll be able to create a little bit of space here. As NRG reset towards B long, the spam comes out. Munchkin will be noted at least here. And the weapon revealed as well.
It's getting more and more isolated. You can see the cutoff as well towards B-Link. Munchkin now living on borrowed time, it feels like. Can Ardis close the gap? Yes, he can. Okay. Bad tries to lean in a little early, and he's going to get 2 for himself. But the plant's now down, and they've got such a player advantage. It's just Sire player, and he's over by Ard. He's so far away. Once again, T1 being bulldozed here.
And Munchkin just isolated once again. A position where he can't have a say ahead of the execute. Then nobody can drift ahead of Som's utility to try and bail him out. In these sorts of setups, you want to see Munchkin just completely abandon site, concede it, and commit towards a 5v5 retake, but I'm not sure if that gets lost in the comms or what. NRG, yeah, like I said, as soon as he's revealed, the game plan is there. Isolate him, pressure him, find the kill.
This worries me, Mike. I want to see an early timeout from T1. I mean, keep in mind, this problem feels like it's kind of poured in from that second half of the second map. They had that break, obviously, to go back after map 2 and kind of talk about what's coming in. There's the timeout, thankfully. I think this is just a big adjustment. These players look quiet. We've not seen much from Sire player yet. I think only 1 kill posted thus far. But it's not even that. It's approaching this game. It feels
they haven't
so
had a say in these rounds. It's not as if they've been able to. They haven't been able to get into a position to really, you know, define the outcome at all. NRG have had absolute freedom. Again, I think that's symbolized by how deep they're able to take control on these A side post plants. That's just something that can't happen. I hate to say it. It's not down to Munchkin. Again, as the solo anchor, you don't want to see him committing to the engagement, but you give NRG a little bit of room to maneuver, and look what they do with it.
Oh, this is dreamy for them. They couldn't ask for a better half. I'm got to say, T1 haven't been in this game since that second half of the second map. It feels it's been a drought since that point. The gear that NRG have kicked into, fantastic, good to see, but I want to see a fight out of T1. I need to see a whole lot more than this. This is now getting to worrying territory. If they don't answer back in the next 3, put a fork in it, it's done sort of deal. You know what I mean? This is scary times. Yes, it's caliber of player, it's experience as well. T1 don't have that depth in the same sort of way. But still, the first 2 maps looked so much better. How Lotus looked was great. I want to see a bit of that here. Need to see more than this. NRG not going to turn down this opportunity. You've got a weakened team against you who's not putting up that same sort of performance. Absolutely. Take it with both hands. But can T1 course correct now? What more can they bring to this matchup as NRG look to at least posture towards B-Long early?
Versus ZDG, it was Munchkin and Sire to put up massive numbers on the defensive half. And so far, barely a squeak. Munchkin playing way ahead of his utility here.
You love that.
Love to see it.
Besides
Had an inkling to drift back a little deeper. Obviously only a Sheriff in hand. It's not a massive issue in this round, but Trailblazer will clear the way. Flash through to mid as well from Carpe should indicate that this is fairly invested, fairly all in from NRG.
Yep, Artist comfortably going to take away the turret. See the site take in mind here from NRG. Have seen that flex down towards Pit and further towards CT as well. This time though, T1 do have bodies on the side. We do have the additional player towards Pit, that being Zeta. Little check towards Art, make sure nothing's going on. But actually the spike goes that way too. Could cause a problem on the cross as Sire going to catch one, but he does get quickly traded. So once again, this kind of offset of timing.
30 seconds left.
Not particularly dissuading NRG. Is T1 going to retake towards the site? And it's comfy. FNS and Artist all too prepared, all too ready. NRG not feeling any strain at all.
Too light investment here from T1. Maybe trying to get ahead of the curve and prevent that spike from going down. First time NRG haven't had to rely on that spike being planted. Bladestorm online now for Ardis. And closer and closer to a couple of other ultimates. T1 reckoning in hand for ban, but yeah, it's 2 or 3 away from a couple of the others.
Okay, right place though. T1, they've got bodies here.
Out of my way.
Sire player wanting to fight. And Artist willing to give him it. 6 to
far
1
up
so
he is.
far, it's clean. No trade potential, nothing to support him. Sire player out on an island.
I mean, he's isolated so easily by Som's utility. That's a free opener here for NRG. We'll be able to slow things down on the back of that first blood now. Wait out this first wave of util. Crash, he's probably going to clear things out with the Trailblazer here. Som might even invest the reckoning behind it. Definitely now with Carpe showing his hand.
There you go, Sight looking very much on a platter here. Artist, take a couple of steps, he's feeling it. NRG just, this is a bit of a shame to see it kind of whimper out like this so far. Zeta and Munchkin, I mean Munchkin's on the other side of the map. Zeta's not really had a say in this one. And NRG just outclassing T1 as it stands.
Yeah, not having a say in these rounds once again. Sire isolated, and after that, it's, I mean, A really awkward crossroads. Yeah, do we commit to the engagement ahead of the site here? Reckoning's thrown in. There's no value whatsoever on the back of it. Barely even slows NRG down because T1 don't have the numbers to flood behind that ultimate. That's what you need to do with that ult. It's create chaos and take some space back, but it doesn't happen. And T1 now trailing by 6.
This is gonna break the hearts of T1 too. It's quite hard to watch it because it's all individual fights. It's all just dribs and drabs. Nothing working for T1 here. And yeah, I just noticed it now. Another timeout coming for T1 because they know this is do or die now.
Well, it's concerning because Bind obviously showed that they had an inability to really kind of innovate on the fly, right? Come up with some responses to NRG's approach to that second half, and already here, what you said, you give it another 3 rounds, you call it wraps. With what we've seen so far, it definitely feels that way. Like I said, we're only coming into round 7.
I think the thing for me is the way that we've got here. I would like, obviously, if we take it, from an NRG perspective, they're doing exactly as prescribed. They are following the instructions to a T as to how to play this, but they've had no resistance.
Yeah, that's
nothing has dissuaded them.
Exactly.
We've seen a little bit of an aggression coming out from side play, for example. Let's take that, right? Throws it in. One, you noted it. The utility work alone coming out from who was it? Som? Just set up Artist from the most favorable fight. There was never any threat to Artist being traded, and if he goes down, it had been, as I said, he decides to pull off a miracle. Following that, the ult gets used. There's no threat behind it. Ban invests the ult. There's no one there to make much of it, and they fall 1 by 1. Again, there hasn't been any resilience to NRG just having their way through this map. T1 need to wake their players up right now. This can't be how they go out of this. Again, this is a playoff spot on the line. This is that difference. This is that jump up of capability. You're seeing it here, and you're watching T1 crumble under that pressure.
T1's response looks like it might be to switch up Munchkin once again. Body stacked up towards the A side. NRG though, quite a little bit of space to work with once again. Again, the Fact Finder's coming out now through mid. Will be at the cost of a lot of progress made down B long.
I've got your trail.
Look for Munchkin to get the hell out of sight here and not fall ahead of this site here, and Crashies will find him.
There's another.
Side says, nothing to disrupt the plan either. Get a little bit of heal up there, yep.
Time to hunt.
And now, how do you look threatening? Well,
I mean, Crashies got a Trailblazer at a post plant.
yeah, that says enough, doesn't it? There's no threat on the way towards the site. And actually, even that Trailblazer going so deep knows that they've got so many more seconds to play with. Right, T1. Show me a little something here. Sai's got full kit, jet. Maybe able to get into it, but not finding a body to try and take down him. Crashies just staying alive behind the utility. NRG, unfazed so far. T1 just trying to make it look intimidating, but there's no threat behind it. They're backing away. They find nothing.
At this point, yeah, they don't want to feed across the ult progress. This one's all but done. Crashies will be spotted here. And Carpe still falls.
Come on. Nothing's going right for him. Nothing.
Nah.
There's no more timeouts either. There's no more conversations with coach. There's just facing the music. And sometimes there are better teams than you. Sometimes it's a horrifically strong reminder. Again, coming out of APAC, yes, T1, kind of that third place team, did very well in a couple of, the deeper runs there, looking like the team that could do some, a little bit of damage here, picking a map here and there. But then you face an NRG, you face a team who does have that deep run potential, who has that caliber to their name.
Depth is the word I come back to.
It's there. You're
twice now in this series, across 2 different maps. We're seeing 2 very similar examples. NRG's just in total control. So much freedom. You can see T1 is just so hesitant, apprehensive to push a little deeper here and try and deny this space to NRG. Pick goes down, Plant's going to come in.
I love that Crashy's got a little interested there to try and go a little bit further. This time, though, Ban's found Artist. Okay, so first real time we've seen a threat being made of any sort of round. But yeah, the Viper's pit ain't pretty when you got shorties everywhere. He takes down Crashy. Som only gonna get one. Here we go. Maybe there's some life in them yet. Maybe this is the...
He's got another snake bite though.
After reignites the fire, but can anyone close in? Yes, Munchkin. Well done. Finally, they get around. Finally.
And Carpe, I think, able to find 2 kills with the Sheriff inside the pit there. And like you said, there was Shorty stacked up. Artist, unfortunately, forced to a wallbang. And just, again, it's just so chaotic, though. What are the tangibles that T1 latch onto? In terms of that round victory, it gets them on the board, yes, but can they build upon it?
I got money. Need something?
All right, do it again. Got a lockdown. We got Seekers.
Well, T1 finally hitting it what feels like a complete old cycle here.
Yeah.
One off the Blade Storm, one off the pit as well. So the position to potentially make this backstretch of rounds interesting here. Sire player tucked up in art. First time Victor's really going to challenge this position.
I think they had contact in last round, but no commitment behind it. That time there's a commitment. Side player wins it. That's perfect. Again, man advantage. Follow-up found. Artist goes down. This is the T1 we need to be seeing. Where's that next layer of threat going to come from? Finesse fancies odds. Wins the fight too. Side player going to fall. Okay, bring it back down to a 4v3 now.
A pause for thought here. I think Crash is going to head across and heal Finesse. We pull out the pit from Zeta. Tries to secure a site here as Munchkin still got his setup, still got a lockdown to commit as well if it all goes wrong for him. NRG probably going to try and find the space here through double doors. So when, or where Carpe is actually going to invest this flash.
Slow
30
progress
seconds
being made
left.
down B link. You've got 2 more players waiting on the site. That setup is going to be a nuisance. Contact made. Can't be as subtle as they'd like, and there's that lockdown. And there's the swing. Carpe, good timing, and the follow-up flash. Perfect work from Munchkin as well. T1, there it is. Not out of it yet.
Potentially need another 2 rounds like that to chip away at the finances of NRG. Still got a couple of ultimates to work with. Required a fair amount of investment in terms of the pit and the lockdown on these defensive rounds for T1. We'll force the timeout at least. NRG, I'm going to say, it's not as if it's a misstep here. They're starting to explore the map elsewhere. Artist unfortunately caught off guard with a wallbang in the previous, now a blind spam into a smoke, I believe. So these are curveballs that T1 haven't necessarily achieved so far in this half that have amounted to round wins, though.
Yeah, you take them when you get them, especially when you've had none of them before, but you're right. But again, for NRG, they still have another timeout to burn if they feel they need it on the second half anyway. I don't mind it as like a check-in. Maybe something that Chet's seen that they feel like they could just at least tweak up a little bit here so they don't run into a little bit of a flat point. Don't mind it at all. But this is given chance, right? This is given a little bit of an opportunity to at least close the gap. Now, NRG, obviously, they're going to be on 7 regardless, but it's what's T1 get, really? Do they manage to close in the gap? Does NRG kind of pick back up where they left off? Nice purchase coming out for T1, though. Got to see that operator, side player, going to get the chance to bring that through. What does NRG lean back to? Do they go back to this B piece? That worked quite well sometimes, but it looks like maybe even T1 are considering that too. So, lots of consideration here. Lots to be looked at, and I want to see Sire player shine a little in this one. Lovely to see him have a game. Noting here, Munchkin going to be littering the ground with that setup over towards A. Going to have the support as well from Zeta, but that's about it. It's a 3-play stack towards B long. And NRG willing to meet this as well.
Now with the operator in hand, can T1 string something together?
Okay, they've got to note players pushed up now. Very, very telling. How much play does Sire get on this one? Ball goes up, NRG looking to try and dismantle this aggressive stance. Sire player with a chance and it just dwindles. Didn't connect on the shot and he has to respect it now.
Bit of spam comes through. Artist will be healed up. G will pause behind this. Trailblazer won't find anything. An unorthodox wall here from T1 to try and deny some of this space behind Pillar, but Sire player He's getting curious once again.
Oh no, that's so many players on the other side of this though. He's being spammed out! He must have been seeing there's a ping towards it. They must have known something was up because NRG now burst towards the site. It's Bam on the back trying to hold them. Trying to keep them away from the site. Keep numbers! He's done more than that! Takes down Victor, takes down Crashies, and he's still trying to isolate. Swats out Finesse. He's wanting more, and he's getting more! The final victim on the other side, spawning out Som. Ban is desperate for this. He'll give it over to Carpe. And at this point, you'll take the round.
This is after NRG get a freebie, I guess, on Saya being spotted. Like you said, the ping comes through, so
Don't know how.
it's 3 people spamming towards that position. But the difference being here, finally, this 3-man hold towards B site actually pays off for T1. Previously, it's Munchkin isolated, punished time and time again, and T1 left cowering behind the utility of NRG. 3 on the board.
It's huge. It's given them. It's a small chance, but it is a chance.
We're talking about the finances as well. Actually, only another round away from removing this massive advantage that NRG had.
But look at NRG exploiting these adjustments. You're bringing that 3rd man towards a B early on. Well, sure, where are you going to take him from? Middle, cool, we'll take that. They have literally just taken over the middle of the map, so any rotation is going to feel horrific. So if maybe they pressure on that A extremity, they do this, it's going to cost them so much.
The read is perfect that T1 will now shift the reliance onto that 3-man stack on B. Find the space, but let's just convert to a plant.
Munchkin getting close. And he gets, well, dealt a terrible hand. Artist all too ready for it. Crash is starting to take towards the side. Plant going to come in. Now you may note it as well, Zeta is still here towards Pit. You know, Ban as well, playing towards Secret. Lockdown invested too.
We up a lot of time here. And NRG taking the space elsewhere. Saya's got to be careful. Ban's found the kill onto Victor. Oh, timing's awful though, some will fall.
It's game back on. 4v3, making a 4v2. Ban is activating. There's Crashies in FNS. Got so many targets to get through. Make it just Crashies. I don't think he's got the time on this one, but he's doing the best he can. That's only towards halfway. Still an opportunity, and it goes. Carpe's there, Diffuse comes in. T1 are back in the game.
The plant comes through, so I think NRG's purchase will be protected here. Won't be any gaps in utility. Somehow, some way, there's a chance we close out this half at 7-5. Like I said, a couple of these, I don't want to say 50-50s or coin flips, now going in favor of T1, which was completely absent in that first stretch of rounds. Just nothing was coming off for them.
Yeah, the activation of Ban is massive. 13-5. Starting to come online here. Sitting anti-flash with the operator with Sire player, goes back in. Oh, it's quick as lightning! Sire player falls away. And that's Crash, he's removed. So much of that ease of access to the site now gets taken out of NRG's hands.
Get out of my way.
For this note, trying to find space on the other side of the map. A little bit more proactive. We did see this early on in the half, but Munchkin's utility is going to be there to spot things out. Don't think he's sure.
No, I was wondering if Sire player was...
Well, there is a ping, actually. A ping comes through on the minimap.
Okay, definitely noted something. There's that look. Oh, FNS just gets backhanded down to 23.
He catches the headshot through the wall here as NRG try and find this rotation. It's drawn all of T1 over already. Going to leave Saya to anchor with that operator.
Munchkin just drifting in the open. But as you highlighted, the cavalry had arrived. Right, the support is here, and Ban, the man of the hour who started to come alive for T1, has made it to the site. The spike goes down, and the last player standing will be Artis. A 1v4 for him. 19 seconds and a hope in hell. 5-7. We finally have a game on our hands now.
What a recovery from T1. To bring this back to a position where it's only a 2-round deficit. Absolute miracle workers here. He said Ban the one to really make this a possibility.
One enemy remaining.
Very top-heavy scoreboard on the side of T1.
Mental looked absolutely shattered as T1 were unable to make any semblance of damage. And a flip was switched. I don't know how they did it, but they certainly did.
And the concern being really is T1 struggling the other day versus EDG. I think they managed 3 first bloods on their attacking half. They were constantly playing from a deficit. Have to hold that fort for the time being, because it might be a brawl here outside pillar. Saya gonna open things up. Finesse ball. Carpe doubles down though.
Yeah, Crash, he's caught with his hands full here. Artist, he got it swing, he has nowhere to go. There's Storm left to catch the cross. You gotta go huge, he's got 2. That may not be enough, leaving Victor with it all to do.
The clutch man.
Victor with a classic, I mean, there's a real chance on this, hold on. All right, show me what you got here. Side player looks unaware of the chance, but he snapped back real quick.
Pistol on the board, a chance to tie things up off the rip here in the second half. NRG looking to be a little bit proactive here in the pistol, and it's punished. See if that trend does continue, if they feed into it. Well, potentially giving T1 a little momentum booster here in the second half.
1 enemy remaining.
Momentum, name of the game. Can they keep it clean though? Can they try and find some real confidence off a round like this? Just Eco Cobra it out. Gonna hear that Marshall rattle off a couple of shots.
And this is the man you want to see get some of those Eco Cobra frags. Saya,
True.
A very rough first half. Get some early progress here towards the Blade Storm. Could be the catalyst here for T1.
Gotta be careful of this stack though. As it stands, all 5 players are here from NRG.
Careful. Here.
Slow and cautious progress being made by T1. Side player trying to keep track of all of this. And it is go time now. How much danger? Oh, come on! They haven't seen him! They haven't seen him at all! And now the reveal. What can NRG do? That's what they can do! Oh, this rips away 2 of the players. Zeta and Carpe left in tatters on the floor. And Artist, the last man alive with 13 HP. How lucky is he feeling? Not very. They made a little bit of a problem out of that round, Mike, but it wasn't enough to do much more than that.
Yeah, draw some blood. It's 2 Bulldogs saved across from this. Obviously the Marshall coming in, a pistol as well. A lot of artist love actually with the...
You know, he deserves
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it, yeah.
He deserves it. We didn't give him enough
Strange
love in
pictures.
him yet. Could have picked maybe some better ones. You're not her mind to judge.
T1 will throw a couple of stingers back in here. Try and protect the purchase here in the bonus. Good progress already, actually, for Ban. Towards the Reckoning. T1 looking to continue the trend here. Big long pressure early on.
Yep. They look like they're committed behind us too, yeah. Away they go. Let's see how Sire player gets on, how he fares. Just going to slip through towards CT, apparently. Dips back in, though, has a second glance, and now he falls. It's only Munchkin to really do any damage so far as Ban. Taking down his own teammate if he could. In a 3v4, though. Victor watching that cross out. Carpe pinned in, swings out, isolates. Ban! Beautiful! Victor shredding T1. And Munchkin a little late to the party here. Yeah, put to bed. Crashies. Keeps cool. NRG take back control of this series.
4 left standing as well. Obviously, we know T1 protected the purchase here, so... Actually, Saya down at 3100. Didn't even spot that in the previous, so we'll only have the Guardian to work with. No Blade Storm available just yet. Saya just chomping at the bit, desperate to find an engagement, but NRG... Damage limitation being key here. Saya not given a chance to really have a say in that round. T1 continuing though, again stacked up outside B long.
They're going back to it. Spray comes in. Somehow
I'm not sure where are those shots are coming, but...
How are both players standing? No problem. They're going to force the utility to be invested a little earlier on. Still a question mark maybe towards the back of the screen there. Could be playing, just find that wall, but There's that early progress of the ult you noted with Bam, so that should be able to kind of help them out towards the site. Take plenty of bodies on the site, though. Ardit's going to get one on the way. Zeta goes down. They're still trying to be a nuisance, still be a problem. Play to the madness of this, but they're not committing with that spike.
And NRG able to actually deny the plant as well. With the ultimate being reinvested here, will clear out a lot of the space, and T1 will be left licking their wounds as they retreat away. We'll leave Munchkin posted up, but again with an alarm bot here, there's a chance he's still going to be neutered a little bit in terms of his abilities to lurk through.
Now the pinch will come down.
30
towards
seconds
Link.
left.
FNS, the one to maybe feel the brunt of it, does have the turret there though as well. That's going to be taken care of. Trying to bolster himself as best he can towards this. The timing on the crunch is everything. Munchkin, that's not it. Outdone, and now suddenly they've got a little bit of room to fall towards. Oh, towards long for NRG. The cross going to be watched, going to be punished. Perfect, FNS. No access to the site now. Nice pivot from T1, but it went nowhere.
Beautiful adjustment here with the poison orb. Finesse and Victor then stack up, commit towards this crossfire on long, isolate Munchkin, and regain control. Oh, this actually finds a blind kill. I said the timing of the investment, or the reinvestment I should say, when Som actually gets closer towards B site, it denies the plant. And even then the Trailblazer clears inside the cove. There's lots of information gathered by NRG that allows them to play that perfectly.
It looks like a brawl. Sheriff's though, all the T1 can really claim. That's going to do well, but the rest of NRG clearing up. All the two players from T1.
What a beautiful snake bite from Finesse, by the way. Lands perfectly here at the choke point and allows NRG to find these kills. Munchkin slipping through. We'll find a response, but 2v3. And Spike firmly in control of NRG.
This does fall a great deal towards Munchkin's capability to do something with this. That flash is going to really sell out Zeta. It looks like Munchkin's going to try and join him potentially. So many bodies on the other side of this though. Far better equipped. Yeah.
They're close. They're close. So yeah, catching a little bit of a jump scare there. Yeah, I haven't actually spotted Finesse sending that snake bite previously, but well, no, it's just a perfect read here after not much success on B long. Anticipating here, but it definitely makes the anti-eco a little more comfortable.
Will we get it again? We'll see. He actually might get it again, I wonder. Flash there, T1, going to work on forward. NRG this time actually rescind back, not going to take the challenge on this one with the by the side T1. This is a key round for T1 if they want to try and keep into this matchup. NRG doing what they need to get to those double digits.
They have Lockdown and Seekers to potentially clear out a lot of space on A here. After the initial pump, Ardis might be greeted outside Art. There's a chance to isolate Zeta, but that has now passed. We have a couple more members of T1 staring him down. Yeah, T1 looking to pinch behind this Lockdown.
He's got to overdo this, and he ain't going to do anything. Sire player, great work. Art now available, they can access towards the site. Crash is just trying to spam away. Does catch Munchkin with a little bit of damage, but the site should be theirs. Let's see if NRG play back in. They do a little. Some getting closer. Tap on the spike. Seek's going to come through. Note the player very, very close by. One towards pit. Counter lockdown.
Forced out. We'll force them back to main and a little deeper in R. Finesse also positioned here outside connector. It's taking NRG a little while to take the space. One detained here. Finesse, can he find it?
FNS is close by. There's a support system. Carpe there to defend Sire player. And now Crash is trying to find one towards what?
What is that?
Man, nasty with it there, finding both players. And it's just Som left alive now. So much to do, and he ain't going to be able to do it. T1 make it through the round. 4 alive, closing back in on this gap.
Again, key that 4 are left standing here. Gives them a chance to solidify their position in terms of the finances as well. NRG, full repurchase forced. Beautiful stuff from Carpe as well to bail out Sire player there after being detained. But back within touching distance here. 2 rounds separate them.
I see Ardis, I see Operator, I also see T1 going that way.
Yeah.
I get excited. Don't underwhelm me, Ardis. I've missed watching your games. Let's see what you got here. 13 to 10, make it 14! Zeta goes, as does Ardis. Dips away, doesn't want to outstay his welcome. The rest of T1 side to pressure towards the side a little more, trying to work around that ult. Ardis not fully falling away from this just yet, forced to respect a little, but not a lot. Shorty on the other side. Site now being taken. Victor going to be isolated, can't be helped out here. Wall's in the way, Carpe's the one to get him. Back down to a 4v4 now.
Come back through. Crashes does have the Seekers, a flash available as well. Invested here. You want to get back on site as quickly as possible, but it doesn't clear too much space.
No, it doesn't give the full picture here. Ardis want to take those next couple of steps. He has to go in unison though. Carpe waiting, Sire delivering. That's Ardis gone. He got crashes to. Oh! Sire player! What a time to come alive!
Completely blind on the second there. Beautiful stuff. And immediately, NRG gonna call a timeout on the back of this. T1 starting to make him sweat here.
Flash. Nice surprise we see another one in the feed.
Nice, guys.
Big round from Sire. Talked about him having a quiet first half. Starting to find his footing a little bit here, Lawrence.
Needed that. I mean, Ban's leading by a country mile. The guy's on 21 to 9. Huge influence, not just in this half, but that first half. He was the one that brought them those couple of rounds that got them back in this game. And now we look towards Sire player. Is this when he starts finding that hot hand here as well? Because those two with a 1-2 punch, right? They look good in the last game. They need a lot of that to come through here.
It was noted, it was actually Sire that, obviously we're talking about the first blood versus EDG.
Yeah.
Constantly T1 were having to play from behind, conceding a first blood and having to equalize. Actually in mid-round, it was very rare in an early round trade. We were talking about versus EDG, their inability to force Kang deeper on the operator, you know, the lack of focus around utility in the early round. Yes, it's stylistically a very different game here from
Absolutely.
NRG, but T1 now showing that they have that in their wheelhouse, the ability to do it once again.
I'm so glad they woke the hell up, Mike. I was so worried they'd go with such a whimper into map 3. I'll take this. Even if T1 lose from now on out, I don't care. They've had a little bit of something brought back into this matchup, and NRG forced into that timeout, clearly feeling that stress. Feeling like they didn't have all the answers. For now, it starts with map control. Over towards 8. All gathered. And looks like they'll leave Ardis up here for a second.
Yeah, Munchkin's on the other side of it. Seemingly no awareness on either side. Well, a rare miss from Ardis. Has to try and get the head out of there. He's caught! Munchkin's found 2!
He doubles down on it, Munchkin is out of his mind! Catching crashes is everything! You'd almost cut your losses at Ardis, but the find on the second is unforgivable. Devastating impact. And now you look at it, the bigger picture too. Evan is still on a stinger. I mean, he's trying to take some space towards long. He has no idea what's waiting on the other side. There's 4 players up here. He's walking into the den. Zero awareness of it. Tried to do a bit of damage on their shore, but it was never going to be enough. And now down to Victor and Som. Good luck.
Som's obviously very disconnected from this. Is he leaning towards saving that operator?
Surely.
Can Victor go clutch once again for NRG? No, he can't. Only Carpe claimed here. Som probably heading back towards picking that operator up.
There it is, get it and go. This is going to be 10 apiece. We've got a game on our hands. I didn't think we'd be saying
Munchkin,
that.
man.
The
What
first.
an opener.
The first, I'm like, cool, yeah, that's kind of sick tracking. He caught Ardis, you know, is he updrafting and trying to get out of there. The second?
Yeah, 'cause I think Ardis maybe caught off guard, whiffs the shot, but then also whiffs the cloud burst. It goes way off to the wall.
Yeah.
Doesn't give him any safety to dash into, which is why he's forced into the updraft as well. A little bit flustered there on the retreat.
I want to see that from Munchkin's POV as well.
Got the player cam. Yeah. Oh, looking to maybe try and pressure this operator. Ban on the other side of things. Not much time left to try and find it. Again, they've got the funds to support this. Find the first.
down. That's prize possession lost there.
Big denial, actually, because NRG are going to feel the pinch.
I mean, T1 is something like 7.7k on side
Yeah.
player. He's loving it.
Even here, somebody throw Carpe a couple of pennies. It's not
There we go.
1k, but
Ooh,
beautiful stuff. What an opener.
that's massive. Yeah, state of the economy for NRG. You can see why they desperately wanted that operator, Mike. They're left with nothing.
Stacked up here towards Pillar. No resistance early on here from NRG.
Bomb here.
Oh, Crash is going to have some utility sent his way.
A lot of players here. Som, want to find Ban. Som finding a second. Gonna need a lot more though. Down on 5 HP here. Forcing the hand a little. T1 not having the easiest of times.
Do have the Reckoning to pressure this pit a little bit, but Artist down to 20 HP, Som down to 5. Crashes has fallen, so no heal available. Munchkin could get caught off here.
This is so dangerous. This is so terrifying. FNS is there. Munchkin's gone. It's basically on Zeta here. The only one sitting pretty. He's doing everything he can. NRG, come on, Zeta. What a round.
And NRG try it again. They're so good at flooding these Vipers pits.
True, it's
This
true.
time around, Zeta pulls out an ace to secure this one. To find T1, they're 11th.
And credit to NRG for even being that threatening. Their buy this round was garbage. It was Guardians, Frenzies, odds and ends. But the pressure was on for Zeta. It was only the two of them left standing. His teammate was down to nothing that final one. Woo!
Insane stuff. Artist though, operator in hand once again. This time around, Syak going to try and face off against it with an op of his own. Oh! This finds it!
Ah,
Just a pixel exposed.
Artist quite good at this game. Band's gonna try and pick up the mantle. That's a tag towards Carpe too, down to 52. Next angle, adopted. Oh, Artist, you barely see him. You barely see him. He's just a phantom out here. There's another glance. He's basically controlled the side. This round looks wraps just on the back of him. What else are you meant to do?
Munchkin trying to find some space elsewhere, but much looser hold here from Som. Was happy to concede this space. Finesse on the hunt though. And Som will reveal himself, I guess, or a deep position here with what looked like a desk pop.
Okay, so I'm gonna watch that cross. Do they have anything to get them across safely? I mean, 2 flashes.
30 seconds left.
Oh.
Oh.
I think he's there.
Yes.
Well, the round has gone from possible to less than. Mike was in hand and FNS is there. Yeah, lovely. Start to end there though. That started with Ardis, and in some fine fashion, even you were surprised at that pixel that he had spotted there. I think we've got a replay of this too. Let's have a little look at this one. Come on. Come on.
The adjustment is beautiful. I said here, Ban
Good
didn't
angle.
even see him.
Yep.
Didn't even see him.
11-11.
So T1 comfortable in the purchase here, but not, well, yeah, not massive stacks behind this though. No gaps in util. Blade Storm available, but it's the only ultimate on the board here.
Let's try and test Ardis again though. He will be seen. He's respecting it enough to fall away a little deeper to that next angle, the one that caught Ban off guard. Even further back from that now. There's a Reckoning's going to come in. How long does he stick around on this? He's staying in this position. Sire player got to be careful too now. Into the blender. Barely breathing on 8 HP, going to get a little bit of a heal up. Unfortunately for him, NRG, hold on, up and above we go. Artist wants his name up in lights apparently. It's Sire player to fall off the back of that. There's a long old flank on the way as well. T1 going to feel surrounded pretty soon. Artist misses, Zeta wins out. And now they give themselves a little bit of pocket of safety to play in.
The awareness here of where was the flank. Do they prioritize small? Do they push deeper? Carpe's going to find one. Victor, he will find the trade though. He finds a second.
They had to have won that fight against Victor, otherwise now there's problems. It's a 3v2. Zeta's still alive though, Munchkin's still there. Tap from the spike, but he gives nothing away. FNS, so heads up. And now Munchkin, he's got to play the time just right here. Crash is trying to defend. FNS, he goes for it. The defuse is through. NRG make it to 12.
Total faith in his teammate there. Finesse sticking the defuse. A T1 unable to make the right decision in such a high pressure situation.
I even like the idea, but it's just like they couldn't get that fight on Victor.
It's Victor on the other side of it though.
He knew that he was the target.
Yep.
He knew that that was where they wanted to be. Once that crunch comes in, once they felt that pressure, they had to fight back somewhere. And Victor's just playing so perfectly in that. 11 to 12 though, we ain't out of it yet. There's still a buy in this one. T1. It's OT or it's GG.
Are they
Gotta do something.
Are they destined to see another overtime here on Pearl? Getting forced down now with 2 Bulldogs in the inventory. Do have the Seekers available, but this Munchkin's lockdown is the next objective here. If they can secure orb control here. NRG switching things up though. Look at this.
4-man walk middle. I don't believe what I'm seeing. The timing on Windows ban check. Van's having a look back here. He's just looked away. He's no idea they slipped through. Oh, the timing! Oh, he's made it! Oh, no! Heartbreak for Ban! He's absolutely fumbled in the hour of need. Perfectly positioned for it. They're not out of it yet, though. There's still a chance, but that could have been everything.
Munchkin does get the lockdown off this, but again, with no progress, Zeta has been sat at the top of B-Long here. Saya, a little bit disconnected. And a defensive lockdown comes through. 30 seconds left on the clock. Will prevent the plant from coming through, and counter lockdown invested to maybe catch the backside of this. Saya finds Crashies. Still doable here.
He's giving them a chance here. Lockdown just going to tick through now. Next couple of seconds. Can they get the plant safely? It looks like Victor wants to try and deny. Munchkin, he's got it down. Okay, get out of there. Into the post plant now. 3v3. Art still standing. Som still alive. And Victor is there. And when Artist stands, he delivers. Diffuse started. Who can stop him? Anyone. They've got to try and get him off. Som's not stopping until now. Forced to relinquish that Diffuse for a second. A 3v2 though. Munchkin and Zeta's still desperately trying to pressure this. NRG now standing in numbers. Another tap on the spike. Som takes down Zeta. It's all on Munchkin. He tried his best, but it was never going to be